The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, MZ, go.
I remember my first podcast.
Month zero. I remember my first podcast, dude. Go, hello.
Are we on?
So it's gonna be like this.
Okay,
tonight.
I'm good.
Hello.
All right, here we go. All right.
Yep.
Physical media is still a thing. You can't beat the sights and smells of a VHS, Laserdisc, DVD, or Blu-ray as opposed to streaming. Collectors are always running around finding that lost gem. Anyone who brags about their streaming collection needs a serious kick in the ass. But I digress. For coming this October 28th, Radiance Films are releasing their 2K print of the 1922 Haxan Witchcraft Through the Ages. There will be an alternate cuts. There will be alternate scores, outtakes, and probably the most anticipated extra is thought to be lost costume screen testing. Audio commentaries and visual essays, promotional stills and a book. Stills, plus a bunch of goodies. This release is only limited to 6,000 units, so stay far away from this release so I can get myself one, you bastards. And welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome to episode 624 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein. Also, the lair of lost swag within the Raven Chateau, Casa de -0, and also from, let's see, we haven't established a location. It's kind of from I guess from Spooky World, north, south, east, west. I don't know. Raven Chat, where's he from? Where's he broadcasting from?
The Spooky Crotch.
Spooky
Zone.
Crotch Zone. Is that like the Discovery
Down
Zone?
where?
Down where?
He's got two words for you. Hey,
Down
pal.
Proper modulation.
We are joined once again. It's been a few months, 3 months, I think. Joined by our pal Anthony Landry. Last time we did the Iron Claw and we talked about Spooktacular, but it's great to be joined by our good pal once again. What's up, Tony?
What's up, guys? Testing 1 2 1 2. What's going on? Thanks for having me on. I first just want to start out by thanking my wife for taking over a lot of the duties tonight. And
probably actual duties.
Both his
Yeah.
and the child's.
Yeah. I think we're good till tomorrow on that front. But I was feeling a little under the weather today. It was a little touch and go there for a bit, but she stepped up, and I'm with my boys.
Well, we appreciate her contributions and sacrifices as well as far as the diaper duty goes.
And look at Anthony being such a good brother, putting her over. You know what I mean? Just fucking.
That's what you do, Raven Shadow. You should learn something.
Well.
When was the last time you put over anyone but yourself? Yeah,
It's been a while. It's
that's
been a
what I
while.
thought. That's what I thought.
Exactly.
It's been a while.
Put someone over. Go ahead. Put someone over right now.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna capitalize on what Anthony said, and the fact that despite all the obstacles that his tag team partner had to face in this tournament, we know that Anthony's been saying his prayers, eating his vitamins, committing some crimes, and running from the police to get in shape for this. He's looking good. He's got proper modulation flowing, and I just wanted to, despite all these odds, I'm sure at some point MZ may duck out first because he's tired.
There's always a good chance of that because I am always tired.
Yeah, you tired in the
can't-
intro.
I can't. No. What? No. What happened? Let me explain what happened. See,
Yeah, boy.
all right, let me show you. See this blue light?
Nope.
Chew?
Nope.
You don't see the blue light,
Blue
or
chews?
at least the top.
You taking blue
All right,
chews?
You can't see the light. All right, you can't see the light, but it's blue. Well, anyway, that tells me that you can hear me. Otherwise,
Otherwise known as a mute button.
that's right. It's called a mute button. Now, there's also this button down here which mutes you guys, and so before I go on, I always have this muted, just so I can clear my throat, do whatever I need to do, so I could speak eloquently. But at some point, I must have hit this button, and I didn't hear anybody. I didn't hear the disembodied voice alerting me to speak, and that's what happened. So and so I had to look at Raven Shadow, and he started yapping, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get on. I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, what the hell?
You thought he was stealing your thunder, huh?
No, he'd never steal my thunder. He's impossible. He's incapable of doing that.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. And I'm out.
Later.
And the
So
sign
on that
says
note-
applesauce.
So that's what happened with that.
That was good.
It's a good story.
It's the only one I got because it's the
Story,
truth.
bro.
Oh man. That actually was on its way to being your best intro ever, but you had to ruin it by talking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by talking. I know. I should know better.
Who's putting
Yeah.
out Haxon again? I missed while I was busy trying to get you to talk, I missed who was releasing that.
Oh, Radiance Films.
Radiance. I don't even know if I've heard of them.
Yeah, I think they're a company out of the UK.
Okay.
And
That's cool.
it's if you've ever seen Haxon, Witchcraft Through the Ages, I'm ready to believe that our esteemed guest has.
I don't know. I mean, it's like from the fucking 1915 or something, right?
1922.
I'm
22,
on their
sorry.
webpage right now, and this is just so much fodder. This is just, yeah, I'm a big fan of Radiance and what they're putting together. Holy cow.
Yeah, this thing is sick.
Yeah.
I was so close many times on going in on the Criterion Blu-ray. That shit's over and done with. I want one of these.
Is it ridiculously priced? I mean, it's a nice package. So
Nice.
Oh, thank you.
I'm looking at their prices right now, generally speaking, and they are listed in, we can't say euros anymore, right? They're pounds again.
yeah.
All right, so they're listed in pounds, and they're pretty friendly.
Huh.
They're not too bad.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God, not this whole fucking exchange rate thing again with Raven Shadow.
Yeah, leave Raven Shadow out of it. Don't get him involved.
About 350.
Yeah, exactly. If we ever ask you again, just say about 350.
How much for one McNugget?
What's pounds and quid?
How many francs is that?
Francs.
Francs.
Franc dressing. And to
Francs.
drink
Francs and francs.
and to drink
Francs and
Peru.
francs.
But to dovetail off of what MZ said during the intro, when we heard it, couldn't agree more on that. It was like I have one of my saved searches on eBay for VHS and then VHS horror. And I mean, yeah, we had fires at film studios where negatives were lost.
Mhm.
And then people just skipped the whole boat on digital transfers for a ton of films. So the only way we can get them is by trying to find the old VHSs, and those
Mhm.
things are going through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah, VHS is hot again.
Crazy enough.
It's insane. Well, you know what? I mean, like, look at music.
only
I mean,
certain
we went
VHS
to
though.
CD and streaming, and then we went back to, at least some point early on in the streaming days, or even before then, vinyl started making a comeback again, and now vinyl's hot again, and I'm collecting vinyl now.
Oh,
So-
look at you jumping on that bandwagon.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at you. Influencer.
Influenza. He's not an influencer. He's an influenza.
No, he's influencer tonight. I'm influencer
Yeah.
tonight.
It is crazy, dude. Like literally on Saturdays, I ring up, fucking $4 to $5, $30 records for some fucking people, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What's the age demographic on that? Are we talking a lot of younger kids?
It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, okay, it's funny. Like, yeah, probably like it's your 20s to like 30 somethings, but definitely 20 somethings. But then you get people who are around our age, but it is mostly the young kids. The 18 to 35-year-old, right? Demos.
Well, to VHS's point too, I think that they're actually still using that now as a form of mass data storage, because they're finding out that the magnetic reels, are able to store more data than
I saw that.
actual hard drives.
Yep.
So there a lot of people, apparently they're still using them, and they're growing the market again for data storage purposes.
Yeah, there's
And
they can I can't remember what it was, but there was something ridiculous, like they can hold I don't know, it was like something like 40 times like the amount that I don't know, I'll have to look it up again. I forget what the actual numbers were.
Then why did fucking Titanic need 2 fucking tapes?
Because if you put more content on a tape, it lessens the quality.
Wolfie, is that right?
Yeah.
SP, SLP, EP.
Yeah, man.
EP, yeah, extended play, was it slow play and long play? I think, right?
Mhm.
That shit would fucking piss me off when I think I'd be fucking recording Lois and Clark. You know what I mean? And I had plenty of time to put it in at fucking 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
Well, that's why everybody's recordings of the Three Stooges marathons are all such poor quality, because you put it on for 6 hours and it's all
Right.
like shrunk down.
Yep. And that's why you get them on DVD.
There you go.
There you go.
So what speaking of I think this came up last night on the Star Wars show Raven Shadow, but so Rocky, had mentioned something about like you and he talk like on the weekends, and he said you're like his hope not like hope this isn't like stuff for not on the air, but he's like I think I'm kind of like Raven Shadow's like shrink. On Saturdays he just wants me to like bullshit to him, and he feels better about stuff. And then
Wow.
all right. And then he talks.
Okay, keep going. Now I'm fascinated. Okay, good.
And then he said that you watch Smallville literally every day. Is that true? You talk about it all the time, but do you literally watch it every day?
I do. I feel like, all right, and I love rock. You know this. You fucking know this.
I hope I didn't
Yeah, we all know that.
I hope I didn't drive a wedge between you two.
No, I have a fucking. I'll give you a fucking. Yeah. Don't be Wedge Antilles, fucking Wolfie.
You brought it back to Star Wars. Look at you.
You're
a professional.
Each other with your balls bouncing off each other.
Don't make it weird. No. Rockhead, we talk a lot. We text a lot. Almost every day. But I feel like he's like, if it was like 3 books, he consolidated a lot of that into one fucking film. You know what I mean? Like I feel there's a lot of things going on. But he's got problems. I got fucking problems. You know what I mean?
Again with the problems.
I got watch shit. I watch shit. The shit. I haven't seen the fucking Acolyte. I'm sorry. I haven't fucking seen the Acolyte.
Jesus H. Christ. I got problems. Every day I got problems.
I do.
You need a psychiatrist.
You fucking have no fucking idea.
I can picture you on the fucking couch smoking a cigarette.
Oh.
Doc, I got problems.
Doc.
Yeah, but it turns into like what's his face in Grosse Point Blank, where he's like, I don't even want you as a patient anymore.
The great Alan Arkin. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Don't say that. Why would you say that?
Quite
I don't even
frankly, I'm
watch it. I
terrified
Facebook
about
anymore.
you, and I don't want to end our relationship out of fear.
Oh, you
Actually,
know,
I was watching the. I
go
was
no,
watching
go go ahead,
the
go ahead.
Rick. I was watching the Ric Flair 30 for 30 on Netflix, and talking about when he went to the shrink, talking about how much he drank, and he's like, when do you drink? Every day I work. When do you work? Every single day. And he's like, when it was over, he was on the couch, and I was fucking talking to him. Similar thing.
Wish he stuck with that, because you can't go to Chili's with the guy. That's for sure.
Listen, Egyptian.
Imagine you're the one person in the world who's like, you know what? I've had enough of Ric Flair shit for today.
Right.
Ban him.
Like, when does it happen? The way when that dude at the bar, this is so fucking old news, and sorry, there might be a lot of wrestling talk, folks, tonight. But when that one dude stepped to him, like the look on Flair's face, like, really? Like,
What do you call him? He's like, Jason Dickhead.
he was dickhead.
Oh God! But
I'm gonna give you $1,000 tip.
But not for Jason Dickhead over here.
Yeah. I've been bringing my family and my friends to this place for years.
And meanwhile, apparently he was accused of harassing like an 85-year-old woman who was eating dinner. That's the best part of the whole thing.
That he wooed. She was blind and he wooed in her face.
You must have been something before electricity, honey.
which I totally believe. I totally believe he did that. It's everything else I don't believe, but that I believe.
I love when it's like, I'm trying to put this restaurant over.
Yeah.
I'm doing the honors, brother.
I'm doing the honors.
There's some guy in the bathroom.
Well, I don't want to forget to mention this. So, MZ, do you want to do a quick little coffin corner here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's stop all the
why not?
laughter.
Yeah. Let's
Well,
stop having fun and start getting depressed.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do
Brakes
it.
on.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, in case you have been living under a rock for the past 12 hours or so, it was revealed today that Shelley Duvall has passed away, has been taken from us, and she is no longer around. And one of the finest actresses of her generation. Nashville and Three Women and Suburban Commando,
Annie Hall,
like that.
Annie Hall, Popeye, The Shining.
Annie Hall, Popeye, The Shining. Yeah,
I literally had no idea about what he just said.
And fairy tale theater. I mean,
Oh yeah,
And Frankie and Weenie as well.
yes, Frank and Weenie. Yeah, and so much more than that. I mean, and she deserves so much better than what she got. She you could see it in her. She's a very timid person, a very fragile person, and whether or not you want to blame Kubrick for most of the problems that she suffered, it's certainly open for debate. You certainly can't say he didn't have anything to do with any of the health issues that she suffered since then. I mean, because she was obviously a different actress and a different after The Shining, and it's a shame, and we were all hoping for her bounce back into filmmaking, and unfortunately that never really came about. She did do a small independent feature last year, and as of right now that film is still looking for distribution. I'm sure it might get it now, but So
forgive me, I maybe everyone else knows this, but I knew she kind of became a recluse. I truly didn't know a lot of the other films that you mentioned. I do remember the fairy tale theater thing, but what happened? I know she had health issues, and forgive me, I thought she had passed a little bit before. So I'm not sure what caused this.
It was well. There was talk about possibly that she was, I guess, schizophrenic, even in her earlier years, in her younger years, and then as she got older, it just kind of blossomed and blossomed until she finally just left Hollywood altogether and stopped making movies or TV appearances, or it's a shame, I mean. And then what was it, about maybe 5 or 6 years ago, there was this whole thing on where's Shelley Duvall. There was
Maybe that's one.
magazine articles and small not documentaries, but just small like inside edition pieces on where's Shelley Duvall. And when you saw her, it's like, holy shit. I mean, she really, I don't want to say she let herself go, but I mean, she just aged, and in a way that I didn't expect. I don't think any of us expected it, but we were happy to see that she was alive and she was, for the most part, doing okay. But
Do you think she ever read for Adrian in the Rocky films? I figure, like, year-wise, I wonder if she was ever auditioned.
I don't know. You'd have to ask her.
Well, I can't.
Jesus, why? Because she was an actress in the same time as, like, active when Rocky came out?
Yeah, like, I just wonder, like, I still wonder, like,
why didn't she try out for fucking Princess Leia?
That's such a bizarre.
I know. It's like, why that?
No, I don't think so.
Did you confuse Shelley Duvall with
Shelley Long?
Why wasn't Shelley Duvall in The Toy?
I thought she was in Cheers. No, but like, how you hear like fucking when Superman's being cast, Brendan Fraser was up for it. There's movies that, like, you get a certain era. Don't be fucking like, that's fucking crazy shit. But no, like, there's certain eras where people would audition for certain things. I truly feel that Karen Allen, I'm sure she would have screen tested for Lois Lane, and I think she would have been a great candidate. At respect to Margot Kidder, but imagine fucking her and Chris Reeve. That's some fucking chemistry, dog.
Raven Shadow, I'm glad you brought up Margot Kidder, because I think
yes,
while MZ was talking about Shelley, I can't help but kind of feel like they're kind of in the same ballpark of self-care, or where their life took them. I mean, let's be honest, folks, it's 2024. Either you have enough information to know that we've grown as a society, no matter how much people are trying to regress it, but at least when it comes to normalizing the process of taking care of your head, like, we're at that point now, but we're also talking about generations of trauma and people who have been dealing with things their whole life, who back when Shelley was in her 20s and 30s, this was still had the old stigmas thrown on it. Like, they just use the catch-all phrase of, like, you're crazy. Like, that's bullshit, in my opinion. I feel like, honestly, when I heard Shelley passed away, like, we all deal with our dark humor and we all guffaw here and there. But honestly, I felt really, really sad because I thought about the total life that she lived and the quality of it and how much she did deserve better. It was really sad, in my opinion.
It was, but I mean, she obviously had a lot of pain in her life, and now that pain is over. I mean, and we can all, as film fans, look back on her library of work as something very, very special. Watch Nashville. She's great in that. Watch Nashville. She's so good in that. Check it out.
Yeah.
Worth a watch.
Just if people aren't familiar with Shelley Duvall's time working on The Shining, now I haven't heard, like, I'm a big fan of Kubrick, of his work, and I haven't heard any other stories about anyone working with him like this. Doesn't mean they don't exist. I just haven't seen them. But for instance, like, I'm just looking at some of the facts here. Kubrick made Duvall and Nicholson shoot the scene, like the iconic, like, scene on
He's
the
giant.
stairs with the baseball bat.
Oh.
I'm just gonna bash your fucking head in, like that. They did it 127 takes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it says the results of the constant takes were Duvall's hands were shredded raw from gripping the bat for such a prolonged period of time. Her voice was hoarse from crying. Her eyes became swollen, and she left the set completely dehydrated. The moments we see on screen of Duvall crying in pain, fear, and exhaustion were not acting, but an actor delivering lines while enduring a trauma response. So I think Kubrick might have been looking for a certain performance that she wasn't able to give, so he got it out of her. The way, but obviously that's not the way to do it. You don't fucking traumatize somebody.
No, I mean that's, to me, that sounds like he feels that Shelley was completely ill-equipped to take on this role the way Kubrick wanted this role to be filled out. And he pushed her and pushed her and pushed her, and it came out on screen, and she's fantastic. But it's that mental trauma that he left on her, that I feel that he left on her, and a whole bunch of other people do too, that just scarred her. And if she was maybe even the slightest bit schizophrenic or had some sort of mental issue that she had during her youth, this totally this was like the gamma ray to that. I mean, it just totally blew up on her.
Well, yeah, and I don't know much about Shelley Duvall's childhood. If she, she was, let's see, when was she born? In 1949. So
Wow.
my guess is, growing up in the 50s and 60s, parents probably were still beating the shit out of their kids, so, who knows? We don't know what she had gone through as a child, but this could have been very triggering and could have, like,
Well, they always call it the supporting 40s.
Yeah. This could have, triggered
20.
some stuff to come back up forcefully. So, I mean, we don't know. We don't know. Maybe, I'm sure someone does, but regardless, she was a great actress, and she had a very promising career that probably didn't reach the apex it probably could have if things had gone differently. She did do a lot of stuff after The Shining, but probably not quite the path that, she and others thought that it might take. She was in Time Bandits, which is a fucking great movie.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot about Time
Yes.
Bandits.
You're right.
I forgot about Time Bandits.
Speaking of, this is a quick aside, but Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement are doing a series, like a remake of Time Bandits as a series. And I just saw the trailer, and it looks kind of fucking awesome. So it's going to be on Apple TV.
There.
Yeah. I think Lisa Kudrow is playing one of the characters, if I remember correctly.
What?
Yeah, let me actually look. I was like, I think that's her in the trailer. Let me just look at the cast here. Yeah.
I remember mom taking me that in theaters.
Yep. She's Lisa Kudrow is in it. I don't recognize too many of the other folks in it, but I do know that Taika is in it, and then also Jermaine is also in it. So it looks fun. I haven't seen Time Bandits since like maybe the early 90s, but it used to be one of my favorite movies growing up. So, but yeah,
got me in on this.
But Shelley Duvall was she was also in that as well. Let's see what else. Frank and Wayne, you guys mentioned she was in an episode of The Twilight Zone from 1986, the TV series, the sort of redux. But after that, I mean, she was in a Cinderella video. I forgot that. Shelter Me.
Yeah. I posted that on Facebook earlier today.
I didn't see that.
But you know what? It's funny when you think about it. Her post Shining days, she did a lot of more children's stuff. You know, she did the Fairy Tale Theater, she did Time Bandits, she did Suburban Commando. You know, so she was putting herself in a lot of kids projects.
Probably wanted
And
to
maybe that was
less
just
stress.
maybe that was just to, you know, make it easier on herself, you know, meanwhile still collecting a paycheck.
So you mean to tell me that we may have had an opportunity to hear Terry Boella talk to Shelley Duvall and utter the phrase, "That's not going to work for me, brother."
It's possible.
Well, you know something. I'm the one who decided to bring in Shelley Duvall, and I said to Christopher Lloyd, and you know Christopher Lloyd, he played Doc Brown in the Back to the Future movies. I said to him, why don't we get Shelley Duvall from The Shining? She would be great in this movie, and they hired her instantly.
I met her
my
at bass
recommendation.
auditions for Metallica.
Fuck.
Did I tell you about the time, brother, that I was going to do the fucking George Foreman grill, but I was by the pool. I had to go into the house, and I missed the phone call, brother. It was going to be the Hulk Hogan fucking grill.
Yeah.
I'm like, this doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah.
But we got Pastamania. We got Pastamania sets, brother. That's enough on Hogan. I'm big on the Shelley end of things, but you're right, MZ. That's a really good observation, because looking at the chronology of her film career, she did make a hard left into light fare, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Like it corroborates in a way. I mean, it's all, you know, speculative evidence, but at the same time, it does corroborate the fact that maybe she was driven out from a bad experience, but we'll never know.
Yeah, being too difficult, you know, air quotes, you know, or because now, like, when was The Shining? Was that late 70s?
1980.
Yep.
And did that predate Popeye?
They came out the same year. I don't know when they were filmed. I'm guessing that The Shining probably was in production earlier, because Kubrick just, you know, he probably took more time with it and the editing and everything. So that's just a guess, but I'm not sure.
It is funny how, like, what you said, that scene took 100 takes, where, like, if you look at them, everyone probably knows this, you know, the Full Metal
127.
Jacket stuff with Arlie Ermy took like 1 or 2.
Well,
And
I
he
mean,
let
the
him
dude's a
improv.
fucking professional.
Not apples to apples comparison. But
Yeah.
it's just funny how, you know.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know,
He probably took his exact. He probably looked at him and said, "Just do what you did for 25 years as drill sergeant,
for sure,
and
for
just say it, and we're done."
That's exactly how it went with Arlie Ermy. He said Arlie Ermy is one of the few, very few, actors that was able to improv his lines in a Kubrick film.
Right. Yeah.
Not too many people can say they did that. Arlie Ermy is one of them. I remember Popeye is the reason I got into horror. Anyway, you guys know the story.
Right.
But Popeye is the reason why I got into horror. I mean, I don't know if Anthony knows.
No, I don't.
Does Anthony know?
Is it the octopus?
I was gonna be fine if you didn't know.
You should tell him.
Tell
tell
me,
him,
man.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure if you knew or not. It was my brother's 7th birthday, 1980, and back in the day, they didn't segregate trailers from the movies. So if you were going to go see a PG-rated movie, you're going to see an R-rated trailer. You know, not a trailer for an R-rated movie, an R-rated trailer for an R-rated movie. Well, anyway, it wasn't like that in this situation, but still, we're watching trailers, and up comes the trailer for the original Friday the 13th, and that set me off. You know, I mean, I always was interested in watching, you know, the Godzilla films and King Kong films and the Japanese kaiju films from Creature Double Feature, Channel 56, way back in the day. I'm sure all of you remember. And but when I saw the trailer to the original Friday the 13th, I'm like, I'm all over that. I was hooked at that point, and I just loved it, and I've been a fan of that ever since. So, thanks to Popeye, I'm a horror fan. I'm the horror fan that I am now.
To quote the guy from Mallrats in the dating game, "You're changed. You'll never be the same."
It was a life-changing day for me. Yes.
Yeah, man, you're right. Now that I go back in the mental Rolodex, I forgot there was some hard R stuff before kids' movies back in the day. And that's probably what dangled the carrot for me, too. I didn't see a Friday the 13th trailer, but I think I remember seeing The Lion King, and they had a Showgirls trailer before it, so we'll see.
That's a big jump in time, brother.
Hey, I like my Disney.
From Paul Verhoeven.
Mom, who's Gina Gershon?
Yeah, right.
Your dad's like, "Oh yeah, you like that show? That show, fucking Saved by the Bell."
And Dad'll be gone into the bathroom for about 15 minutes, and he'll come back.
It was the only movie my grandfather didn't fall asleep in.
Yeah, right. The only movie my dad sent me to get popcorn. Hey, here's a fucking 20. Fucking play in the arcade. Let Daddy be in his raincoat, dog.
Yeah.
Before we get too far into this, I do want to mention what movie we were talking about. So let me just back up and say, just to kind of put a cap on it, rest in peace to Shelley Duvall. And yeah, I mean, she was, whether it was acting or not, she was amazing in The Shining, and she was a great actress in a lot of other things as well. And it's a shame that what had happened to her career happened. But yes, it is a big loss for the film world. So rest in peace. And so we have a few chats. I just want to catch up here, but just to let folks know, if it's not clear, if you're watching live feed, you'll see it on a little chyron at the bottom of the screen. But on the show this evening, we are going to be talking about the film I Saw the TV Glow, directed by Jane Schoenbrunn. So we'll be talking about that just in a little bit, maybe in about 15 or so minutes from now. And we'll get into that. No spoilers, but we'll get into discussion as much as we can. And I think it'll be a good little chat, or at least I hope so. So we'll be talking about that shortly. And let's see, in the chat room on YouTube, Cinder Gothan. What's up, Cinder? Cinder says, just watched and can't get it yet. Can't have a full opinion on this movie. Yeah. I mean, I had to kind of supplement. Not that I don't want to get too much into the thought process of what I thought of it yet. But I had seen that sentiment out there of some people, had to give it another watch. But yeah, it's a bit of a surrealistic horror flick, I'd say. But
do we know Cinder Gotham?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know.
Do you know anyone with the name Cinder?
I
last name Gothan?
Cinder Gotham. Is this your first time, long time?
And also Gail or Misty of the Scream Sisters is
Snoop
commented on Facebook. This is a little while ago, so I don't know if she's still hanging out, but she said, I grew up with my dad selling records. So there you go.
There you go.
So we're talking a little bit about records earlier. And also, I checked the Trick or Treat Radio chat, and someone had posted some porn in there, which is fun.
Yeah. Marion forwarded that to me.
Yeah, I just deleted it.
Why?
Because why? Did you see what it was?
Oh yeah.
And you think that's okay to have in our chat room for people who want to come hang out and talk about a movie and hang out and just shoot the shit? To just force that on people? You think that's cool?
I guess no.
Okay, thank you. Because yeah, that's fucked up. If you're okay with that, just go into your fucking.
I'm on the other side of the tracks. I miss all the stuff in the chat.
Well, it was
Rob,
just one
send this
picture.
to our private chat, okay? Stop doing it on the fucking.
It was just one picture. We sometimes get
Well.
spammers in the chat room, and I usually catch them, but I didn't didn't catch this one, so I apologize, Marion. Marion saw it. She said I gave me in a comment about Time Bandits, but I've forgotten my comment.
I had no idea.
I went down a rabbit hole, if you know what I mean.
Why would you
I
have
had
any
no
idea,
idea
MZ?
about this.
You never look at the chat anyway, so why would you have any idea?
I look at the chat. What are you kidding?
When was the last time you looked at the chat during the show?
Oh, during the show.
Yeah.
Oh, never.
So why would you look at the chat? Like when we're not doing the show, just randomly or like, oh, let me check the chat that happened 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
funny what Angry Townsman said. Huh?
Oh, look at that picture this person posted. Look at that. Wow.
I like
That
those
woman's
too.
really talented. Oh, man. So Marion says, so anyway, are there no little people in the new Time Bandits?
Right?
I don't know. I mean, there's a child. I think I saw some.
Well, that's not. I mean,
Some-
that's not. It doesn't count, right? Like that's because by the sequel they're gonna be fucking. You know what I mean?
Wasn't
Gonna
there
be
like
what?
some controversy about like the Little People Acting Guild kind of upset with some stuff that's going on over the past 10 years, and now they're like, hey, wait a minute, I get we're trying to steer everything in the right direction, but we're losing jobs. Like I think I read something on that in the past couple of years. Hopefully that, I mean, Time Bandits can't be made without like, you know, our quality people who are actors. I don't
Right.
care what shape, size they are. Actors are actors.
Does
Yeah,
not
but
scream
part of the
Peter
appeal
Dinklage.
of Time Bandits was the fact that the bandits themselves were short people.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Well,
part of the
it's, you know,
appeal.
So there is one. There is at least one, at least listed on the IMDb cast. Dane Noonan.
Noonan.
Miss it.
Noonan.
But who's that comedian? It's not Brad Dourif. It's Brad
Oh, Brad Williams.
Brad Williams.
He's
Like a
great.
fucking bastard. He's a
Brad
funny
Williams is
guy.
great. I mean, like, all right, Leprechaun, whatever the fuck aside. Like, you telling me you can't give Hornswoggle some work? Give that brother
Mhm.
some fucking.
Well, you know what? We saw what happened the last time Hornswoggle was in a movie, and man,
But he
I wanted to blow my
played a
brains out.
fucking
Is
character.
that the Leprechaun remake?
Yeah.
Shitty movie, but great episode. It's probably like in single
Well,
digits.
and great film director who did it is Stephen Kostansky. Yeah, but I think it was one of those one for them kind of deals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but still, Hornswoggle is still a fucking. He played a character.
Yeah, but I mean, it was unrecognizable. He was in like a fucking rubber suit or something.
No, I know, but not just. Take that aside. But on WWE, like he played.
Sure.
You know, he's played a.
He played a
Various
leprechaun
roles.
because WWE is all stereotypes, even still.
I'll give it away that record.
Yes.
Can't keep blaming everything on the poop party VKM.
Yeah, I mean, even still, like they're doing it. Like, look at, I mean, I get the bloodline story, but like it's all a bunch of Samoans feuding with each other and other people, and like a lot of the factions are very stereotypy, and I don't know.
Well, if they had Sami Zayn in there still, it wouldn't be so bad.
He's there, yeah.
They do. He's the Intercontinental Champion right now.
No, I mean he's in the bloodline.
He was the best part. Honestly, and I know we're really taking a hard left here, and I'll keep it to like 15 seconds. He's coming. My 2 cents from when Heyman 2 years ago said they were only in the third inning of telling this story. Obviously, we're going to have old bloodline versus new bloodline, and Sammy's probably going to play an integral part of that, like conclusion where I think the end of the day was, how do we write like a 10-year story where people will stop booing Roman Reigns? And they were like, this is how.
We don't know.
Speaking of, hopefully people have watched Dynamite, but speaking of long form storytelling, Tony, I assume you saw the end of Dynamite last night.
Oh, indeed I did.
That
And
was
it
fucking
was
brilliant.
a phenomenal way that they carried it out.
Yeah.
They didn't. The fact that she ran up the ramp and got that belt and didn't hesitate for 2 seconds
Yeah.
to just waffle Tony Storm. I think that that's what did it, because if they delayed it for a second, we would have known.
Yep.
But they preserved the surprise with her just taking that out and just destroying her. And I cannot wait to see how it's going to go at Wembley, because in my opinion, this is probably the best way that they've put together the next female star in any company.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jade Cargill has a chance to do that in WWE, but I think that they lost a lot of that steam. I think that Mariah May is that's the prototype going forward of how to properly elevate a talent who had it all in Japan, came over here, became the quote unquote, protege of Tony Storm right when her rocket was taken off, because she's just phenomenal in the character she has. I just think that this is a certain case where creative liberties given to the talent actually paid off.
Yep. And I saw a thread on Twitter about how their whole story has sort of mirrored the plot to All About Eve, the movie All About Eve.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like almost beat for beat. It's funny if people had seen the movie.
Right.
I've never seen the movie, but if you've seen the movie, you probably would have seen this coming.
I mean, actually, I saw that coming, I think, a long time ago. That's what they were doing. Like, not.
Oh, look at you! Oh, look at you!
Yeah, I mean, that's.
I mean,
not for nothing. The NCW had somebody that thought they were an actress too. Just saying beforehand.
It's not often I use Showgirls twice, but this is also the Showgirls plot.
Yeah.
Oh.
They were watching their Paul Verhoeven tapes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't want to go too deep down that wrestling rabbit hole, because it can get long and and twisting. And MZ was already starting to gloss over when we start talking about AEW, because he's gonna get he's gonna get injured. There's gonna be some fucking debris that flies his way just when we talk about AEW. So I don't want to put him at risk. So
he gets hangry.
Might be some cocaine flying his way from Tony's nose.
Oh,
and I don't mean our pal Tony. I mean TK.
Okay.
TK.
That'll make the fella feel better.
So, but yeah, I think the build to All In is already fucking great, and the next week looks insane. So
yeah, they're literally delivering.
Yeah,
because everybody's coming back from injury. They're literally delivering pay-per-view quality TV shows every week right now, in a way out of necessity to get the buy for All In, which, by the way, I believe they've shrunk the capacity of it from the 70,000 last year down to 40, I believe.
I thought I heard 50, but
well, either way, if there's more of it, they're allowing themselves the ability to be like, all right, let's open up more sections. But I think they're turning it into a destination event like WrestleMania with All In. I think it's, and I love what WWE's doing. I'm all set with this BS gatekeeping. Let's just have some fun, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And I really enjoy what's going to happen in August. So I'll put a bow on my wrestling dialogue for tonight.
All right. Evil Corny says, ever forget Virgil, Raven Shadow? Virgil.
No, I never forget Virgil. Actually, there's a story I heard that he was able to S his own D.
That was Lenny Poffo, but I think.
Yeah.
No. X-Pac tells a story. It was him and somebody that had a Native American gimmick.
Tatanka, probably.
Well, he didn't say it, according to the interview I heard.
I thought I heard that.
What? I was there. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. We'll be right back. But no, I literally heard this like 2 weeks ago that Sean Waltman was in the room when they had some ladies there, a couple of rats, in his words, and Virgil was able to get to his area, not even being at full power. So I've never forgotten about Virgil.
Get to his area. S his own D, is that what you're saying?
The story I heard from the internet
because you're
was that
get to
Yeah.
his own area. Like we don't know what like what are you talking about? Like get near
His cock.
drive to his house.
no, like the general area, pubic region.
Well, he could always get his own meat sauce.
I think he's passed away though, isn't he?
Yes, he
Yes.
did.
He did
Died
this
like
year.
a couple
Yeah.
months ago. He died like a couple months ago. Yeah.
No,
Probably trying.
once again,
But he's still trying to S his own D.
He died balls on his lips.
Oh God.
I don't know.
No,
Oh,
actually
my
he died
God.
trying to suck his own dick.
No, he didn't. No, apparently he was able to do it, not at full power. That's
It's
respect.
it's like a different version of that yoga kill in
In a violent night. In a violent
Yeah,
nature.
right.
Yeah. Oh man.
That'd be great, like, doing like wrestling urban legends, like the whole and then he had a meat hook, and the fucking, like all the stories that like Sheik when he was trying to fucking, get cocaine when they were fucking crossing the border, or when he put coke in someone else's bag and let them go first.
Dark Side of the Ring now has more fodder, I guess.
Yeah, no
Cheeky
kidding.
baby, booty arch.
Oh, Evil Corny says, tell MZ to read the chat when y'all talk wrestling. And he said, that's a stereotype. Raven Shadow.
Well, then I fucking want that, Corny. Because you know what I get? You're tall. You must play basketball. No, I fucking don't.
You're white too, so
You're
I mean,
Italian, so you must
Yeah.
be in the mafia.
Well, I'm just saying a choice was made after World War II. Let's shoot.
a choice
I'll tell you
was
right now,
made.
You guys know this. No, my grandfather came after fucking World War II, after fucking killing Nazis like a fucking brother. And he was given the opportunity to bring a package from central Massachusetts to Rhode Island once a month. Don't look at it, no questions asked. Because legit shoot.
Not Virgil's package, but
No,
no,
no.
this is before Virgil.
And would he bring
yeah,
would he bring it to Buddy Cianci?
No, but wait, it's 1940. When did we win fucking the war? When we won our second title?
Second title.
Yeah.
when we won the strap at 44, brother.
Yeah. When was fucking World War Mania? Fucking. Well, let me tell you something, Hitler.
We did the honors in Nam, but we're getting ready for the next one.
I told Hitler they ain't gonna work for me, brother.
Working, brother. Fucking, we're on the world's America's job, brother.
I told Putin they ain't gonna work for me, brother.
No, but like legit, like my great grandmother did maybe run moonshine for the fucking Italian mob during Prohibition. So my grandfather came back from the service. He was given the opportunity to do that, and he said no and became a cop instead.
Oh,
So
you went
we
to the
always
other
joke.
side. Look at that.
Yeah.
He probably
Totally turned
fucking
face.
he probably narked on him too.
No, his biggest fucking babyface dude killed Hitler, and you know what? Fucking become a cop.
And Bigfoot
He was
too.
in that territory. He was fucking over, dude.
He was they based that
His
fucking movie on
territory.
him. The man who killed Bigfoot and Hitler and the
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Although to be fair, his nickname was when he was boxing was called Peaches because he was always getting creamed. Legit, that was a shoot, dude.
That's a great.
Legit, yeah.
That's a great name.
Well, it looks like Raven Shadow and I have a bit of a familial history that resembles itself. My grandfather used to run came into the U.S. through Chicago and used to run from Chicago to Boston, but after they caught Capone on tax evasion, he declared all of his money. So I actually found out. So I found out after my dad died what my real last name is, because we did. Yeah, this is another territory story. But anyways, long story short, my real last name. This guy, my grandfather. When you look at the tax, the addresses, his shoot name, Antonio Troisi, and then under it, Anthony Landry at a different address. He literally used his fake name as the driving name to declare all of his taxes, and his shoot name was in the North End.
Such
shit.
a brother.
Yeah.
Such
He had,
a
two,
brother.
he had two completely different lives and two completely different families. So
Wow.
found out. Yeah. So I found out the day after my dad died what my real last name was. So
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
shit.
Prohibition, bro.
That's
Prohibition.
wild.
Yeah.
We're gonna fucking
legit.
do a deep dive next time we have a fucking steak and baked potato dinner, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. But at the same time, he did. He used to get some miles on the old booze wagon.
Well, yeah, what's funny, like my grandfather didn't like the fucking guinea wop shit. But I had some uncles that really did. You know what I mean? Like my grandfather loved fucking, killing Nazis. You know what I mean?
He loved it.
I fucking loved it, dude. You had to, right? That's when you fucking.
No, you don't have to love it. I
No,
mean,
shoot,
like,
actually, it legit. There was there's a fucking story where it came. I don't know, fucking. It sucks, man. Like fucking, I'm too funny to carry a gun. To quote the late fucking
Gilbert Gottfried.
no, tall skinny guy, Bells.
oh, Richard Belzer, yeah.
But that's fun.
Yeah, that is. Oh, yeah, that's fun. Killing Nazis, having fun.
Killing Nazis.
Kill.
Nazis.
They're gonna I ain't gonna get fired. They're gonna chew me out. I've been chewed out before.
My grandfather was a big Porky's mark. I'll tell you that much. I said that before. And Benny Hill.
Who
Porky's
isn't?
made me become a man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we could probably start to wind down because I want to jump into this movie discussion. So let's see. Let me just check all the chats. I think we're all caught up here. Oh, Corny said Raven Shadow can't jump when talking about you play
That's
basketball.
fucked up, Corny. Doesn't mean it's not true, but still, yeah, no, it's fucking true. Listen,
We're listening.
there are some good fucking stereotypes and some fucking bad stereotypes.
Name a good stereotype.
Big cock.
What?
I think
Right?
you said big cock.
Yeah, you just teed that up for him, and I saw it coming a mile away.
But you know what? Maybe
he knows
that
his pitch, guys. He knows his pitch, and he hammers it in into the gap every single time.
maybe that's
like
not.
Trot Nixon down the middle, brother.
Come on, update your
Trot
fucking
Nixon.
references. This
Oh,
fucking guy
dude.
is stuck in the early 2000s. Like
Yeah, we're
wrestling
against that,
references, sports
Of all the places to get
references.
stuck.
Yeah, like music references.
Pokey reach crease coming off the bench for us.
I'm like Mark Bellhorn off the
See?
pole, brother.
See?
Brother.
Mark Bellhorn.
Yeah,
And Trot Nixon.
Trot Nixon,
Yeah.
Mark Bellhorn. What's next? Jonathan Papelbon. You gonna talk about him now?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Name-
Kind of like the Gabe Kapler podcast.
Name one player on the Boston Red Sox this season.
Oh, fucking Alex Cora. Yeah, boy.
He's not a player.
he's
I
not a
said
player.
I said a
I knew he was
player.
a manager too.
Name one
Look, you
player.
think he's done good.
Just
He
say
thinks he's
Enrico
doing good.
Palazzo, and we all win.
Enrico Palazzo.
Single player.
Yeah, fucking Mookie Betts.
He's not on the Red Sox anymore. They traded him
He hasn't been on
4
the
years
Sox in
ago.
like 5 years.
5 years.
Fucking
Jesus.
Jackie Marlowe.
Oh, God.
Jackie,
You know what?
Marlo.
Jackie Marlowe.
Wolfie, just continue. This is gonna be
God.
forever.
Tom Cruise.
Oh God.
Doesn't happen.
But again, one more chance. The Boston Celtics just won the fucking NBA championship. Raven Shadow. Name one player.
I'm going Disneyland.
Name
What?
one player on the Boston Celtics.
Oh, fucking Oh, the fucking guy. Fucking yeah.
The
Scott
fucking
Wedman.
guy.
The
Right.
fucking guy.
Skippy Wilcox. No, fucking
Skippy
Alex
Will.
Durant.
Alex
Shooty kneecaps.
Durant.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Shootsy McGavin. Balls balls.
Wolfie, it's a good thing you live so far away. Otherwise, I'd
Alexa.
kick your ass right now.
No, you
Computer.
wouldn't.
Who
If
are
I
the
live
starting 7 Boston Celtics?
starting 7,
Starting 7.
the fuck?
For Christ's sake.
Starting 7.
Who's the 8th man?
Wolfie, I'm gonna kick your ass.
You know what? I still have so much heat with the Celtics because they fucked up Mary and I going to see Scott Thompson. So fuck you, fucking ribbon, dog. Fucking bring back Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers hasn't been here since what,
I
2013?
slowly see MZ just disintegrating in front of us right there.
It's hopeless.
He was a victim of the snap.
And the thing is that Wolfie
LeBron
never
Bird.
learns. He never learns.
Oh, I don't do this for me. I
Did
do it
you
for the
just say
listeners.
LeBron Burton.
LeBron Burton.
With a Y.
That's a fucking great name.
LeBron Burton.
Butterfly in the sky. I can hoop twice as high.
I did watch a
I can
Cheers
hoop
clip on
twice.
Reels where Kevin McHale came into fucking that bar and talked to Sam Malone.
LeBron Burton.
LeBron-
What's his son's name? LeBronny Burton?
You know, I gotta take a Z-Quil at night so I can sleep a little better. I think I'm gonna take about 15 of them this time.
Why do you take a Z-Quil? Do you have
Oh,
trouble sleeping?
With my mouth.
No, why?
Because I can't sleep. I have a hard time sleeping.
but you're so
Like-
fucking tired.
Like insomnia?
Yeah, which is part of the bitch of it.
MZ, you want to babysit my 2-year-old?
No.
'Cause I'm sure you'll be fucking
Don't-
none
don't.
after that.
2 minutes, he'll be fucking out.
Yeah.
One diaper.
Yeah.
One diaper, he's fucking
Yeah.
out.
Believe me, I am no good with kids.
No.
I am.
Yeah, you don't want
at
him
least I
near
can
it.
admit it. At least I can admit it. You know?
Exactly. We got a lot of the wrong people with the right kids out there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on then. So yeah, we're gonna start to wrap
Danny
this up.
Ainge.
Danny
Shut up.
Ainge, are you fucking kidding me? He was the general manager for the Celtics like 5 years ago, I think it was. 4.
You're welcome.
Didn't he also write the Book of Mormon?
He also was a ball player for the Toronto Blue Jays.
What? Yeah, that's,
Exactly.
Yeah,
The OG two-sport athlete
yeah,
right there.
yeah.
Right there.
Before, well, I guess technically, was he? Yeah, no, he was before Macho Man, right?
Oh,
No.
Randy
Yeah,
Poffo.
No,
No,
Macho,
Danny
Macho wrestled under a mask.
Danny Ainge played for the Toronto Blue Jays in 1981.
What did he make it to the majors? I forget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Oh,
I had a
okay,
baseball
okay. I
card.
knew.
I have the Fleer
Yeah.
baseball card.
I've seen the
still.
car, but I wasn't sure if it was minors or not. Okay, so I mean that's pretty fucking. That's okay. That's hardcore. Okay, that's better than Macho Man. He he had played minor league ball and he was with the Reds and I think was he with another team? I don't remember, but yeah, he played minor league baseball before he got into wrestling. But you're right, yeah.
Yeah, and he did while he was in spring training or in the minor leagues. He still would work for his dad's promotion in the off season under a mask.
That's right. Yeah,
And that was
yeah.
so they wouldn't get in trouble, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. So let's start to wrap this up. So if you guys want to help support the show, there's several ways you can do so. The best way is Patreon. Head on over to patreon.trickortreatradio.com. And we had this past weekend, we did a new Patreon exclusive episode that just released today. And that, let's see, what I ended up calling it, Saturday Morning Horrors or something like that. I don't remember what I called it. But what we did was we took one of our favorite, or not necessarily our favorite, but one of our childhood properties, cartoon properties, and made a pitch and turned it into a horror movie and pitched it. So now we want the listeners to be the financiers, the producers, and let us know which pitch they would help fund. So that's out there now. Go ahead, Reverend
I was
Shadow.
thinking about that. I was thinking about the episode. I think it was a nice. I think it was a nice beginning, middle, and end. I think it had a nice narrative. The ideas.
All right.
You did a good job.
All right. So there you go. I think we did actually get one voice message that's going to reference that episode. So I'm looking forward to that. And if you guys want to hear that, and also if you want to participate in any of the live events that we do, we did one this past weekend, and on Sunday we did our first edition of Sunday Evening Cartoons, and we got like it was like a 2-hour presentation. We each picked a cartoon episode, and we interspersed it with some 80s commercials. Anthony, you would have loved it. We got in some fucking Chow Daddy. We got in some local, yeah, spaghetti. What were some of the other? What were some of the other local ones we used? There's
the Boston Aquarium. I can make
no
Ocean
science.
Wave.
It was Boston
walk like a
Museum of
dolphin.
Science.
Oh, Museum of Science.
There was
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
There-
fucking Robalon. from
Robalon,
Mars
yeah,
with the candy
Robalon,
bars.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
So
then you can never forget the Star Wars. When
yeah.
R2 got smoking.
I used
Yeah,
that one.
yeah.
Yeah, we used that one. Yep.
That
That
popped the boys.
MZ
Eating
picked.
fruit for breakfast. Breakfast can't be eaten.
Oh, I didn't do
Eat at
that.
home for energy
Oh.
from your head down to your
Oh,
feet.
yeah.
Remember
You know
that?
what
Yeah.
you know what you can't find now? Because I tried looking for them before, not for this, but Sniglets. Remember? No, not
Yeah,
Sniglets.
yeah.
No, not Sniglets. Snippets.
Oh, I was gonna say Sniglets. Hell yeah, I remember that.
No, not but not Sniglets.
Okay.
That was a Rich Hall thing.
Yeah.
No, Snippets.
John Oates.
I don't remember Snippets. What was that?
Snippets.
Dude,
was
Channel
a-
56 like cornered the market and all that stuff.
Dude,
Yeah.
for Timer was flowing. Fucking the Gilbert Gottfried, smoke
Smoke
fucking
alarm.
detector alarm.
Oh yeah, make a map out of get out of the house if there's a fire. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Super Stuff. Well, although that's one we should do is Super Stuff.
Yeah.
Remember
Or
Super Stuff?
Riff.
The
The
riff
Riff
one where the kid's eating the burger out of the dumpster, but he could get a book.
Yeah. Yeah. How to
Yeah.
cook. How to
Yeah.
cook garbage burgers, bro.
What was the other? Was it One to Grow On? Is that what it was, Reverend Shadow?
Yep. The Michael J. Fox one.
Yeah, where the kid is playing chess and he loses and he flips the fucking board and he gets all pissed off.
Yeah.
Not doing racial slurs. It was fucking weird.
The 80s were something, man. They were something.
Yeah.
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 So anyways, we put together like a 2-hour block, and it was fun. Raven Shadow picked an episode of G.I. Joe. MZ picked an episode of Transformers. I picked an episode of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends versus fucking Dracula.
That was dope. That was the best one. That was the best
It was
one.
pretty outrageous. I hadn't seen it in I don't even remember. Like, it's been forever. I had to actually look up some episodes of that to figure out which one I wanted to do. But and then we also did the first episode of Defenders of the Earth, which has been brought up on this podcast a lot in recent weeks. But it was a blast. We had a bunch of people show up. Like, I don't know, we had a good group of folks hanging out, and it was a blast.
It was how a great night at the bar would be, or a party would be, and once once the Sugar Show was over, there was a little after party chat in the back, and that was cool too. So yeah, we talked all raw. That was cool.
We talked all
I took
raw.
Ollie out, lost my connection to the internet. That sucked. And I'm like, I'm still here. Ran back in.
So yeah, it was
the Velvet Road after party. I missed that.
yeah.
I mean, remember, I would have completely offered the Growing Pains episode where Kirk Cameron had to run off and Boner had to put the ski mask on to shovel the driveway. That would have been the episode.
That's a fucking dark.
Oh, we
fucking thing.
we should do sitcoms.
Because
We
Boner
do-
took his own life.
Oh
we do
shit, yeah.
the very special episode.
Yeah.
Ones.
MZ, I know which one you're gonna fucking pick. The bike shop.
Yeah.
Oh God, the Different Strokes one.
Yeah.
That's a
Maybe we could do-
fucking
yeah.
masterpiece. I'm showing that to my kid when he's like 4 to be like, be careful.
There are a ton
Oh, you like riding
of
bikes, do
back
you?
Episodes
You do?
on Different Strokes.
The 80s cornered that, man. Like Different Strokes literally had
They cornholed that.
yeah, we got 50% of the shares on really going outside the box on stuff. But who would have thought that the friendly general manager at WKRP with all the toys would end up segueing perfectly into a real creep on different strokes?
So
Yeah,
this is a
right?
conversation that Rocky and I had. What's that dude's name?
What's
Different
that
strokes?
dude's name?
Gordon Jump.
The great Gordon Jump. Uncancelable. He went from WKIP to fucking violating Dudley in the bike shop. So you know what? What's up, dog? I'm your fucking Maytag repair man.
Yeah.
And
forgot
it all
about that,
segues back because Dudley was just in a recognized Shelley Duvall's passing today with an image of the movie they both worked together in, Shavar Ross.
Yeah. Yeah. And soon after that episode aired with Gordon Jump, bike sales dropped faster than Dudley's pants.
That's how Tony Hawk then invented skateboarding. That's fucking
He
fucked
invented skateboarding.
up. Yeah. After the Hong Kong invented snowboarding
Yeah.
callback to our greatest hits.
Hong Kong 97 featuring Gordon Jump riding bikes.
Yeah, his last name is Jump, dude.
Oh shit! All right,
Might as well
so
Gordon Jump. All right.
yeah, it was fun though, and if you are a patron supporter and you missed it and you want to check it out, I'm gonna see if I can make it available for Patreon folks only. I know EF has already expressed some interest. I just didn't have time to put it up online, but I will get to that soon, EF. And if anyone else wants it,
Have time.
the other thing I did was I also recorded the audio of us just hanging out and shooting the shit. I just thought, you know what, maybe if this is something that people want to hear after, like the people who were there, that's a possibility. So if anyone's interested in that, I did record the audio of the entirety of it. So, but if someone said something that they don't want out there, I don't think anyone said anything like that. But yeah, it's available. All right, so check out the Patreon, patreon.trickortreatradio.com, and consider signing up. You can support for as little as $2 a month, and goes up from there. We got some Patreon takeovers coming up. We have a couple offers out, I guess. We're waiting to hear back from the next two folks, so we'll be getting a Patreon takeover soon. And also, one other thing that I don't think I mentioned in a while, and we have to actually figure some shit out. But 2 weeks from tonight is our 12-year anniversary. 12-year anniversary show, and we don't have anything planned yet. So we got to get.
Why start now?
We got some work to do. Yeah, exactly. Maybe just a little bit of work. But yeah, we'll figure something out. But if you guys have ideas, by all means, feel free to shoot them our way. Let us know what you have in mind. If if we've done something in the past for an anniversary or a milestone show that you dug and you want to see it come back, let us know. All right, so last couple things for supporting the show. Head on over to trickortreatradio.com. On the main page, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo. You click on it, it's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, though, Michael Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
That's right. So go ahead and click on that link, and we get a tiny cut. It helps us out. And finally, on trickortreatradio.com, you can click on the store. It's going to bring you to our digital storefront, and there we have the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3. So if we've been doing the show almost 12 years, if you guys don't want to go back and listen to every single episode, but you want to hear some highlights, then go ahead and give that a look, and you'll find that on trickortreatradio.com. Click store. All right, now Michael Raven Shadow, you sit down to watch I Saw the TV Glow. What do you do to prepare for this one?
Oh man, this past Saturday night, I made a triumphant return to the Tales from the Podcast program with our buddy JB, his co-host Jeff, and apparently there's a finite episode of Tales from the Crypt episodes. So apparently apparently by a monumental decision, the choice is them doing the show, What We Fear in the Dark, or Are You Afraid of the Dark? ? So we watched season 2, episode 5, The Dream Machine, which was about writing stories that would come to life. It wasn't good, but I was too old to watch that. But it was a nice trip down memory lane, and we derailed it, and that was fun. It's on YouTube and shit. You know what I mean? And then after that, and I surprised Marion came home, had a little dinner. We hung out, finished a movie.
Did you make dinner? You made dinner?
No, Marion had dinner, brought dinner.
I thought you said you made dinner.
No, I said after that triumphant return appearance. Now today, I came home and Marion was here, surprise, and had dinner, and we ate that, and we finished the movie together.
All right.
From the vegan box.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's called the vegan box.
Okay.
It wasn't a vegan box.
Yeah, I know. I don't believe you.
I won't tell you what it was. But I strapped on.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, a bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music, pants, quoting video games that don't have dialogues, shabibans, tasty news,
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
butt breathers, uncomfortable nature facts.
or how to install a thermoplanche.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Redoctopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we? We sure do.
So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
Like me.
worry not, gentle listener. Next week we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Inebriard Podcast Network, with new episodes out every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify.
Thank you
Stitcher,
guys for having me on. It's a
.com.
blast. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
And, Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio is Trick or Treat Radio.
Don't say that. It's like,
You really put us under.
it's like swearing in church. I
You
don't know.
just jinxed us.
you put a lot on our shoulders just now.
Well, we can strive for
You
greatness.
guys are awesome.
Yeah,
you really
just
are. You
say
got a
that again
great show.
slowly.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories
With your hosts, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
we have action,
horror,
An adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast,
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast!
a podcast for the barbarian at heart.
Hey, you matzo heads. This is Larry Fine, and you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
And we have returned on Trick or Treat Radio. and it is time to talk about our featured film of the week. And the film this week is I Saw the TV Glow. And this film is from 2024. It got a theatrical release this year and also recently hit VOD. And the film is rated PG-13, and it is 99 minutes. It is a drama horror. It is written and directed by Jane Schoenbrunn. And let's see here. The cast features Justice Smith, Bridget Lundy Payne, Ian Foreman, Helena Howard, Lindsay Jordan, Danielle Deadweiler. I didn't even recognize him in the film, but I knew he was in it. Fred Durst was in this.
As the dad.
Yeah, as Frank. Did you notice who the dad was, Raven Shadow?
Put your hands in the air, suck balls.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Come on.
Also has
One of those days when you want to wake up.
Jesus.
Don't give a fuck.
Amber Benson, who played Tara on Buffy the Vampire.
That was not dirt, Mark, dude. What?
Sorry, I missed my place because you interrupted me there. Amber Benson, who played Johnny Link's mom, and so Amber Benson played the character of Tara on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV series, which the Pink Opaque takes a lot of influence from, apparently.
Yeah.
I never saw Buffy. Did you guys ever watch the TV show?
Nah.
You know what I didn't? I mean, I had a friend that was really into it. My buddy R was really into it.
Was it your Canadian girlfriend?
What's that?
Was it a Canadian girlfriend?
No, it was a dude from my hometown.
Okay.
But for me, Buffy was fucking Pee-wee and fucking the chick from The Chase.
Oh, the movie. Yeah, the movie, not the show. Yeah, Paul Rubens.
Rucker Hauer, the great, Jungle Boy's dad, Luke Perry.
What was the
Christy Swanson?
Christy Swanson. That's who. Yeah.
Yep, from The Chase. You know what I mean? And fantastic in the Phantom live action film, by the way. Don't fucking get it twisted. So that was my Buffy. And so I never watched it. I think I respect what it did and where the genre, went. 'Cause I'm sure, you know what, Wolfie, there probably wouldn't have been a Smallville if there wasn't Buffy.
Yeah, you would have been a very sad man.
Yeah, well, I probably still am.
Bro. What Smallville started in the 90s, right?
It actually aired right after 9/11.
Oh, okay, so 2001. Okay.
So yeah, the pitch for it was before, with that great Scarecrow gimmick with him with the S in the fucking thing, which Riverdale eventually copied. But no, it dropped right after 9/11, so it was like right at that kind of zeitgeist.
All right. Because I was going to say this movie might have been about you.
Well, to be fair, this movie might be about a lot of people on this fucking podcast right now.
Every single one of us.
Yeah.
Projectionist.
Owen wasn't a projectionist.
You were a projectionist.
No, I was. Owen in this wasn't.
Owen! No, but he fucking...
Owen!
But he what?
Owen!
We're good.
How great!
You lied to
how
me.
great would it have been if Anna Ramsey was in this?
Oh, look, cows.
Shit. What was I talking about?
No idea.
The True Blue was about a guy. Sensitive girl. That's not...
True Blue?
Yeah, but Like a Virgin was a metaphor for big dicks.
I don't even know.
Fucking Reservoir Dogs reference. God damn it, Wolfie.
I don't know what you're
Anthony
talking
knows.
about. All right. Well, I was doing the cast. That's what I was doing. All right. Also, I never.
Jaden Smith.
Did you guys ever see Pete and Pete?
Meat.
Pete's Meat.
Pete and Smeagol?
I've never seen Pete's Meat.
Have you guys? Well, you should. You're missing out.
I guess I should.
Have you guys ever seen Pete and Pete?
The Adventures
Yes.
of Pete and Pete.
Yeah.
I saw like 2 episodes.
No.
No.
I mean, that's well, I think we were too old for that. I mean, like I was into Hey Dude. I was into You Can't Do That on Television.
So yeah, I've never seen it, but The Adventures of Pete and Pete apparently was a TV show in the early 90s and was somewhat influential with this movie, but also it features 2 of the actors as well. Michael C. Morona
and Fred Durst.
Fred Durst was not in Pete and Pete. And Danny Tamborelli. They played in this Neighbor 1 and Neighbor 2, which I wouldn't be able to pick them out. But a lot of references to 90s television, from of people in this.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it had that Nickelodeon. And I mean, after when we were growing up, Nickelodeon was more kind of underground, a little more UHF, took a lot of shows from Canada. And then when we aged out, they had a lot more original content.
Which is
you may
another
have
movie
seen
we could talk about.
Yeah, you may have watched Netflix recently. But even before that, yeah, but Pete and Pete, there was Snick, I think Saturday Night Nick, you know what I mean? So this could have been a show that would fit what they called the young adult channel.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Was that like Spice?
Spinners.
So yeah, there's there's a kind of a little bit of a who's who of 90s TV in this. And the synopsis is 2 teenagers bond over their love of a supernatural TV show, but it is mysteriously canceled. So the director Jane Schoenbrunn had previously did a movie called We're All Going to the World's Fair in 2021, which I know got a decent amount of praise for sort of an indie horror flick. And I think I even mentioned this before. We almost did it on the show, but for whatever reason, whenever it came out, we didn't end up doing it. But anyways, from what I understand about doing a little bit of research, a lot of people are praising Jane Schoenbrunn for being a bit of a visionary director in the way that she presents her work. So I would like to go back and check out We're All Going to the World's Fair because I still haven't seen it. But this is, obviously the latest work. I saw the TV Glow, and if it's any indication, I think Jane's probably going to get some additional work. This was with A24, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some more collaborations with A24. So that's all the important info about the film. Now, the less important info is what we thought of it. So why don't we go ahead and give our first impressions? Now, this is going to be a difficult one to discuss. There's some things, we will try to steer clear of spoilers. So we'll try to, talk about things in a general sense without going too deep down that rabbit hole. I think we will have to talk about some of the stuff, especially the themes of this film. And I think we can do that without giving away plot details. But does anyone want to go first? Or is everyone kind of like a little hesitant?
You show me first, Wolfie.
All right. What's MZ?
I was going to say, I'll go.
All right. Let's let MZ go then.
Yeah. Well, I thought, for a second that I was going to be seeing like wrestlers like Attaché and Mountain Fiji and Queen Kong and and Zelda the Brain.
It's not that kind of glow.
Lady Godiva, but
wow, thank you, Wolfie.
because I thought this was, I saw glow on TV.
Okay.
And it turns out it's not that. I saw the TV glow. So I'm like, well, okay, I'll watch it anyway. And I
saw my sheets get wet.
Wow, talking about entertaining himself.
Anthony.
Jesus Christ. I've heard, a lot about this, and it's been getting some pretty decent buzz lately. When I first saw I didn't watch the trailer naturally, but I just from the poster art, it had a very surreal sort of poltergeist vibe to it, and with the jiving of the colors and everything like that, because everything has like a neon pink or light purplish color hue to them. So I figure, okay, well, whenever a poster puts that color in their poster, it's going to be a theme of that movie. It generally is the rule. It's an unwritten rule, but it generally happens. But if I wasn't sure what to expect from this, and I went in completely cold, and I came out freezing. I think I left that film knowing less than I did going in, which I guess, when you figure the structure of the film sort of makes sense. But I wasn't sure what to expect, but I wasn't expecting this. But there are problems here, and part of it is on me, because the way I saw this movie, it's a completely generational movie. Most of it takes place in the mid to late 90s, and look, Anthony, I don't know how old you are. How old are you?
46 next month.
Okay, so
he's the baby on the show then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shit.
So, I'm 53. Okay, so this time frame is completely out of my element, and I have a rather strong disdain towards 90s teenage angst, because it was just so prevalent during that time. What used to be about rock and roll and fast cars and hot chicks and loud music and explosions and violence has
and a
now
shitload of coke.
Well, it's turned into this, in the 90s came, and it turned it into this glib, glum, sad, depressing time in which you kind of wonder what the hell is keeping you alive. Seriously. And you look at the characters in this movie.
Have you seen 2020?
Everybody is just so depressing. And not a hint of joy is found in this movie. Well, actually, there is a little hint of joy shown when they show the what is it? I don't want to say, no, not poster. It's the billboard for the fun zone. That's probably the only joyous part of this whole movie.
Or when they're watching the Pink Opaque, at least they're engaged.
They're engaged, but they still got that same look on their face. But anyway, I'm going too far into it right now. But anyway, that's my first impression of it.
All right.
I feel like I'm a little too old.
What's funny is I think, and we'll get into this as we further discuss it, but I think you actually read the movie correctly, because that's what you're supposed to get out of it. And yeah, so I think you actually did sort of read it correctly. I don't think you're missing anything necessarily. Maybe some of the connective tissue, but I don't think you're missing some of the main themes. But Raven Shadow, how about you? Why don't you go ahead and give us some, just sort of like first impression thoughts?
All right. I mean, I like some of the actors. Like I know. So is it fair to say that there's a years pass over the course of the film?
Yeah, I mean this takes place. It starts when Owen is in 7th grade, and then let's see, I don't know exactly how old he was, but I think he ended up being in his 40s, like towards the end.
And this opened up in what, 96, I think.
Yes,
is when it started. So I mean, I graduated high school in 94. At 17. Not because I was small. Right, well, it came fucking down to the wire, brother. It was
yeah, we should have a retroactive graduation party for you.
It's true. I came down. It was literally came down to one question with one teacher. That's funny, and I got 2 wrong. God fucking damn it! How about this one? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, here you go. Have a good life. Yeah. So I mean, I was 17 in 94. So what? 1990s. Whatever the fuck. But I mean, I did kind of. I like that. I guess I didn't know it would become a generation over time thing. I thought we would see the 2 characters throughout in their roles. Now, but I did like a certain character. I liked. There's a character in this who played the more adult version that was actually in a show. I forget if it was Netflix or HBO Max about the true story of hip hop. I'm not sure I forget what it was called. But I liked him. I think it was David Justice, not David Justice. I was a baseball player.
Justice Smith.
Justice Smith.
The Get Down.
The Get Down. Yeah. It was kind of like it looked pretty dope, and I wanted to check it out. I still want to check it out. But yeah, I didn't know. I mean, it definitely, and I don't know if it was about time. I took it as being that outsider back in the day. Yep. For me, it was pre Tim Burton 89 Batman, where you had to be in the closet to be a comic book fan.
Jeez, I mean, that takes on a different meaning. I know, but I'm just
all right. To be, it wasn't cool to be a comic fan in those days. Let's make it more realistic. It wasn't cool to be, at least in my high school. And knowing about you 2 boys, your probably school wasn't much different. I remember going summer vacation one year. Hey, see you guys next year. And I came back, everyone were fucking jocks. We used to call them white cappers back in the day. It was that co-ed naked era, stuff like that. And like, oh, you guys aren't into Thundercats anymore? What the fuck? But I think when you find someone that you groove to, that's what I kind of was interested. Where are you going with this? I got the early 90s aesthetic. I got the TV show, the appointment viewing, the staying over someone's house, whether it was for, Saturday's main event. I'm jumping through times, but it was that communal experience of renting Gallagher videos on VHS or seeing my first horror movie, like fucking, what was the coked out movie that Stephen King wrote? Maximum Overdrive. Like it just reminded me of those nights in the basement, kind of stuff. So okay, I'm intrigued.
All right. Is that so I'll make sure you get it all in there?
Well, I mean, yeah.
That's your okay. You just kind of ended abruptly, so I just want to make sure.
Well, yeah. The race is over. Take off the fucking uniform. What the fuck?
Well, maybe you should put a period on your sentence as opposed to kind of keeping it open.
If we were texting,
it was like an ellipsis. It was like ...
To be fair, it's very much on brand with this film and the way it ended too. So
thank you, Anthony. That's why I'm fucking smart and I'm fucking tuned in to what's fucking.
He actually didn't say that you were smart, but okay.
He fucking did. Read between the fucking lines.
I'm smart.
I'm smart.
Not like everybody says.
Evil Corny says, is Raven Shadow talking about my childhood? Did you guys have the same childhood?
No, I was cool, man. I was like, yo, why do you read comics? Comics are for kids, dude. I was too busy being a football player.
All right, well, let's
tackling dudes.
let's go to Anthony and hear your first impression.
I think I have a funny feeling we're all going to be on the same page about this. It's very much this generation's film. I definitely felt like the 46-year-old white guy who accidentally went to the wrong party and was like, "Hey, carry on, see ya." It's just,
hey, fellow kids.
Hey, have a blast. See you later. Like, I felt that the trappings of the 90s. You know how we critique 80s films when they try too hard and miss the point on the 80s? I kind of feel they had a little bit of that going on with some of the 90s content, except for the thing that rang true to me. I didn't have cable until like 92, 93 at my house. I was raised by my grandparents, so I'm a UHF dial kid.
Mm-hmm.
And if I tried really hard, I could get 27 out of Worcester. Like that's what I was raised on. So my friends who had cable would record stuff for me, or my uncle who had cable,
nice.
he'd throw it on a VHS and get it for me. And I did find it like it's so foreign to, it's going to be foreign to my kid. It's going to be foreign to people that were born after 2005. Like my barber, who obviously doesn't cut my hair, but trims my beard. We have these conversations. He was born in 2002, and trying to tell him of what it was like to not have information at your beck and whim like we have now. Like you can just rip a movie off the internet. You can rip a TV show. Like everything is in the palm of your hand. I think making the effort to show the effort we had to make to watch a film, especially something as niche as the Pinko Pig. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, something as niche as that. Like, yeah, it was like us talking Stern Channel 9 show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you had to have the friend that recorded it to get it to you. So in that regard, I was feeling it. I feel like Jill wanted to tip her cap to Twin Peaks, wanted to tip her cap to Lost Highway, but also have like a teenage film of coming of age and being honest with your sexuality, because that's what the whole Veil was about to begin with. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert, sorry. But at the same time, it's never firmly addressed. So just the way that they approached it, I definitely think it's not for me, but it is for a generation. And with that, I think it served its purpose, but that's probably why we're seeing so many mixed reviews on it, because some people can't be honest with, this didn't hit me because I didn't live it or I didn't experience it.
Yep.
I think she made the effort of doing that, but at the same time, I left it. I felt like when the movie ended, I felt like a Family Guy skit where I got up from my chair, walked, grabbed my hat off the hat rack, checked for my wallet and phone, just walked out the door into nothing, and that was the rest of my night. It felt that depressing at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be fair, just talking about the ending, I've had nights like that.
Yeah,
where you just like
mornings. Wolfie was at one in particular.
Yeah, it was a journey, but at the same time, it's just that sometimes that boat that's sailing out to sea just ain't for me. I'll catch the next one.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let me go ahead and give my thoughts. So for me, I mean, I'm sort of with you guys in the fact that yes, like in 1996, I had already graduated high school. I only went to college for like 1.5 years. So, I probably was already done with my college career. So in 96, yeah, so I would have been, I would have been 20 in 96. So
Because we met in '97.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
at least
yeah.
The factions combined in
Right.
'97.
So there is a big difference, in this. Owen was in 7th grade, so what he would have been about 12, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that sounds about
12,
right.
13, somewhere in there. And when you think about it, like 7 or 8 years difference is, back then it's a pretty big difference. And we, as MZ sort of mentioned, I mean, it was funny the way he said it, like rock and roll, fast cars, whatever. Like, we grew up in the era of hair metal, whether or not we, loved it, like that was our time, like hip hop, hair metal, and then for me, like when grunge hit, like I was not into grunge at all. It just didn't do anything for me. So that era of music, I feel like, was very tied to the teenagers of that time, and not to say, I mean, this I will say this film has a fucking great soundtrack. It's an original soundtrack, which is something you don't get very much anymore these days. All these artists wrote songs specifically for this. So this is a really good soundtrack. So I'm not like commenting on that, but I'm just talking about that era. Now in '96, that would have been sort of like kind of coming out of the grunge. Grunge doesn't have such a grip on music anymore. So I think other stuff is starting to come through. But
it's a post-Crow soundtrack world. It's,
yeah.
It's Demon Knight. It's fucking Judgment Day potentially.
Yep. So for me, yeah, there's definitely a difference in years here for when we were in our more formative younger years versus when this film initially takes place. But having said all that, I will say I was captivated by this film. The film looked great. It had a very haunting, mysterious feel to it that really drew me in and engaged me with what was happening. And also the performances I thought were really well done. I liked Justice Smith as Owen. I thought he was really good in this. And also Maddie, who was played by Bridget Lundy Payne, also was very good. She had to play, almost like different characters, right? Like I feel like she played different characters in this. And
if you're familiar with her music work, that's what she's like in real life. Or
yeah,
that's what they are like in real life.
Yeah. I'm actually not familiar with her music, with their music. Sorry, and so that let's see they're a pop star in the improvisational voice band Subtle Pride. Is that the name of the band? Subtle Pride. Okay, yeah, I've never listened to him.
Name.
I've never listened to him, but I do know. And Ravenjar, were you just about to say something about Bridget Lundy Payne? Because I don't want to steal your thunder.
I believe they were transitioning.
Okay.
Because she was in a show, I think, with Michael Rappaport back in the day too.
Okay.
But yeah, well, I'm just saying, do you. You know what I'm saying?
And they also were in Bill and Ted Face the Music. Bridget Lundy Payne played Billy. So Bill's daughter. So it was only, if I recall, it was only at the very end, right? Like when we see. No, they were in a little bit more than that. Now that I remember, but yeah. So Bridget played Billy in that. So yeah, I'm not too familiar with their work.
If it isn't the Wild Stallions.
Oh my God! What the fuck? What was
Did you guys
that?
get that too?
Yeah. Did somebody play?
It may have been me because as I was looking her up, I accidentally clicked on Bill and Ted's.
Usually that's
2 out of 3. Damn right.
Usually that's me. That's why I was like, oh my God, do I have a tab that's open?
Oh yes.
That's funny.
Another Timmy XXL video up there. I got to get rid of that.
Creepy Girl said, did he say his barber trims his pubes? I think you said you beard, right?
Beard.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember anything about pubes.
It's 2024. You can get anything now. Money talks.
Jesus. Who do you think she is? Judy Bagwell?
Anthony got the Brazilian down there, you know.
Down where?
So, yeah, I thought the performances were really good. I thought Bridget Lundy Payne and Justice Smith were both very good. And let me see here. Trying to look at the cast. I mean, it really hinged on them. And also, I was not oddly, but I was really fascinated by the pink opaque. Like, I think I would have really dug a show like that. You know, it's like a supernatural show where it's like a Monster of the Week style. You know, like Smallville, Raven Shadow.
Yeah, well, see, almost more like Supernatural, but with like two girls that were on a weird fucking astral realm.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that clown episode was kind of dope. But all you hear is the fucking sounds.
That and the fucking ice cream man when they first showed the ice cream.
Yo,
yeah, and the ice cream is melting.
Yeah,
the melting ice cream man. Yeah.
That looked fucking awesome.
That was pretty good.
I got scared. I'll be honest with you. Like, fuck.
There was some really cool stuff in that show, like that, and then there was like the two with like the moon face characters.
Yeah, it took Mac the fucking Night, the fucking McDonald's fucking commercial, mixed with that motherfucker from Nightbreed, and made it really fucking weird. And Mr. fucking Melancholy, fuck you, dog. Nightmare Fuel.
Yeah,
he's a son of a bitch.
I really liked Mr. Melancholy, especially. There's that scene towards the end where where he is talking and you could see his head is like oscillating, or I don't know. It was like, yeah, it looked really cool.
Effect.
Yeah.
It's a really cool effect. I was intrigued at this point.
Yeah, and even the first time I saw him a couple times too, like in the field and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But it also speaks to. I mean, we've all probably made friendships over watching a TV show, or something like that. Like,
isn't that how we're fucking friends?
What TV show?
Well, I mean, like wrestling, fucking comics.
Well, sure.
Barney Miller.
Barney Miller.
Well, the Barney Miller. Yeah, you guys are big fans of fucking, Empty Nest, right?
Empty Nest.
But like. I will legit shoot. So back in 1990, whatever the fuck, 5 or 6, whatever. I was 18.
Spive or 6? You said.
What did I say?
You said Spive or 6. I thought you were going to say Danny Spivey or something.
Yeah, the great Danny Spivey. No, when I was like, either 1995 or 96. Whenever I was 18, my first semester of college, I walked to my psychology class. I was wearing a fucking Danzig 3 fucking dope t-shirt with the skull and the sword, hair flowing. And there was a dude in the back with the big old beard wearing a fucking Misfits t-shirt. I'm like, well, I guess we're friends now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what you would do if someone's like, okay, well, I guess, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if that, pre-internet, when you saw someone who had an interest the same as you became friends.
Oh, you like Coke? Wait, what?
Actually, I was going to tell this story. It's similar. I've already told it. Yeah, I told it before, but at the time, back in 1990, 91, I was in a band with MZ's brother, who was our drummer. And so we used to do band practice over at his place, and it was like a room away from MZ's. So MZ had to fucking indoor fucking band practice. A couple.
that room that's so small.
I know.
There.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Your parents are fucking fantastic of all the shit they let us. Actually, yeah, both Wolfie's mom and MZ's parents should not have put up with so much shit from us.
No. So yeah, I used to go practice there every, a couple days a week for a while, a few months or whatever. Well, I think while we're between like practice spaces, and yeah, and at that point, MZ and I just completely like hit it off because horror. I went over there for band practice, and then I would like stick around after, and MZ and I would just talk about horror. And when he had an Army of Darkness T-shirt, and I had just seen Army of Darkness in the theater when I went to go to fucking Disney, and it was playing, and I'm like, we got to go see this fucking movie. Like, my mom wants to take us to Disney, and I'm like, we got to go see Army of Darkness.
And you and your brother went, right?
Yeah,
You guys
so,
like,
yeah.
snuck out. Yeah.
So me and my bro went to go see Army of Darkness, and but yeah, so when I saw MZ and he had the Army of Darkness shirt or something like that, we just immediately hit it off. And eventually, I don't know if you were wearing the shirt or what it was, MZ, but eventually he gave me the Army of Darkness shirt.
No, what it was I still have it, as a matter of fact, the original Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead official merchandise catalog. I still have it.
Okay.
And I ordered a bunch of stuff off of it, and it was I got a hat, a poster, and a shirt. Well, I got the poster and the shirt, but I didn't get the hat. So I'm waiting for the hat. No hat. So I contact them. They send me the hat, but they also sent me an extra shirt.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And I'm like, well, I don't need 2 shirts. I'll give it away. So that's when I gave it to you.
Yeah, and I wore the fuck out of it to the point where just a few years later, while playing shows with the Deadites, like it literally was like had holes in it. Like I had to retire it because it just was like completely fucking shredded. But that goes to show just kind of what Raven Shadow was talking about back in the day. If you found someone who was into something that it was like you were immediate fast friends because there's no internet to go online and talk about things, so it was like, oh my God, you like this too? Holy shit. It just seems so random and weird,
Yeah. Do you guys ever get into zine culture, like like punk style, like subject matter zines that you could get through the mail on a mailing list, and like you made your tribe through that? Like this is even before AOL Instant Messenger and chat rooms and all that stuff. Like zine culture, like I know my ex-girlfriend was a publisher of it for Riot Girls.
Oh, nice.
And she would send that stuff out, and like they had a community of like, I don't know, 12, 13. But when you find that's the way it used to be. Like we sound like such senior citizens at times.
I know.
But I mean, we had such a dramatic shift in technology in the early 2000s to now, where it used to be like a decade of technology would pass. Like you'd get a VCR in 79, and then the next advent was DVDs in like 1995, 96.
Well, Laserdisc, right?
Yeah, and that bridge. But at the same time, now the technology is so rapid.
Yeah.
Like the ways to communicate and get on the same page with like a niche section of fans, it's a whole new world. And I do think that even as simple as a VHS tape waiting in a room for someone that you connected with, because nobody else identifies with this, nobody else likes the band, nobody else likes the show, that resonates with all of us, especially the viewers of this, I believe. So they nailed that.
It's wow. That totally unlocked a memory. Speaking of not only MZ's, I guess I might say generosity with Wolfie, but I remember getting a page, I think, from your brother MZ to call him after work, and he had made me a best of X-Pac VHS compilation that had everything from all like the 1, 2, 3 Kid stuff to the fucking Razor match to everything leading up. I was like, like, thank you. Like it was fuck. I still have it. I legit still have it up in my fucking comic room up there.
I knew nothing of this.
Yeah, well, we were special. We had our own fucking thing going on.
Well, that also brings up, like, what was the one thing that really defined the 80s and 90s, in my opinion, when it comes to personalization of an identity that you want to give to someone. Making mixtapes.
Oh,
You
yeah,
make the tape for your girlfriend. You make the tape
Hell
for
yeah.
a friend. Like that vibe is, it's sharing a playlist now. It doesn't have the same notes, you know? But
right, because
I think that they were trying to go for that.
Yeah. And just to comment on that real quick, like it was all about the intent. You would sit down for hours and you would think like, oh, I got to make this perfect. But nowadays you literally can, just, click on songs, listen to half a second of it and be like, nope. And then you just completely make a playlist. And then you're like, oh, well, I have 10 other things to do. Like I got to go post on social media. I'm just going to fucking half-ass this. And then you just put a bunch of songs on it, that's similar to a mixtape you made for like another friend or something, and maybe it's the same one and you just label it differently or whatever. Like, yeah, before there was intention that was put into it, and you would agonize over the placement and everything. And yeah, it's just not the same now. It's, I feel like a lot of that, the craft of it, I guess, if you will, is gone because everything is so immediate, and most people don't have the time, or they won't take the time, I should say, to sit down and fucking listen to a playlist that someone makes them. So why even bother? Why even bother trying? Because that they're probably not even going to engage with it.
But then again,
there was so much soul in that. There was so much. You would have to listen to every song to make it.
Of course.
Yep.
And you were breathing and living that mix.
And
which is why this, I feel like, does that, because that character was going out of their way to record it and then ensure they got it safely, and the amount of meaning and connection through that is something I know that we could relate to, and that the director was trying to convey.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope it did justice to defining that era in that encapsulation, which for me was one of the most important parts of this film in defining that era.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved. So one of my favorite scenes in this is when I think he's walking through school. I think he's going to the dark room, and we can see all the writing on the screen of like all the different episode titles and the notes that she included with them. I thought that, once again, speaking to what you were just talking about, Anthony, like that completely reminded me of that. And I love that aspect of it. And that's a way to connect that we just I feel like we don't have anymore. You can send a text, sure, but that's in between sending like 10 other texts to other people. It's not like you're taking any more time or putting intention into it. It's just a normal thing that you do now for people,
But the connection seemed like it had more urgency. You know what I mean? Like, and yes, where we could all, like, we're all in a group chat, and then some of us are in other group chats,
right?
And then some of us are in other group chats. And theoretically, on a 10-minute break, we could talk to fucking 10 fucking group chats. Like, that's fucked up.
And
oh
sometimes,
shit, fucking, is that infected? What the fuck? Fucking, that's crazy, Rock. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and sometimes we'd send the same, like if we had a link or something. Like sometimes I send a link to multiple groups, because I'll send it to you guys, and then I'll go and send it to like, I don't know, like the Hossmen or something like that, depending if it's wrestling related or, movie related. I'll send it to the Hossman too. So it's like, there's not much thought or curation involved anymore.
But there was something about the break time, whether you're in college or whether you're in school, or I guess college and school are kind of the same thing. I know I was only in both for a little bit, or on work, like those little bit of connection, especially if you have a routine, and like, oh shit, you're into that, and it was something. Now, to be fair, like, I don't want to go back to it takes fucking 8 hours to fucking make a fucking turkey. You know what I mean? Like,
wait, you can cook a turkey quicker now than you could back then?
What was that Dane DeVito line in Johnny Dangerously? Cook a whole turkey in less than a day. Fucking, when he tries to, MZ knows. But like, yeah, I guess this is an art form to cutting shears on your fucking, bushes. But sometime you fucking Black and Decker, bro. Fucking done, dog. So I'm not saying that innovation isn't good.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. Anthony knows she's a homeowner. You know, it's fucking cut, dude. You know, or vibrators, whatever the fuck. Technology is good, but there was something about really making a connection with somebody that you had to engage in. And I like the fact that he showed him, they showed, whatever the fuck, it was shown that it seemed like it was like the best of like that season in all the episode synopsis. It's like, oh shit, that's dope. And I remember getting like either comics or books. I'm like, oh shit, this is the other stuff. Whatever that turns you on to that media is a pretty special moment, you know, and that's what resonates. That can build a connection that can last years. And as this film does jump in ages, you know, where on one hand it's like fucking Padme and fucking Makoki fucking Skywalker, you know, their weirdness, as they age up, it's not quite the same. Kind of like Masa Zero. We're cool. Like, we're cool. Like, you are, I'm not fucking with you. But we're all, when from 97, we were all in the same shit. But having that little bit years might be a little bit different. And that's okay. But we all still we all watch Growing Pains.
We all have growing pains.
We all still.
Well, I'm suffering from some pain right now.
Nothing to do with growing, though.
Raven Shadow just kind of,
thank you,
inadvertently gave it what its true title could be, which is Growing Pains. Because if we're looking at the overall arch with the layered storytelling, like we know what the overriding arch is after you watch it, but when the entire awkwardness, and there was only two of them,
right?
And that's debatable if there's actually two of them to begin with, because I think it's the identities of the character too. But I mean, only two people understood each other on that level completely. And the awkwardness of the conversations and the honesty with their own identity, one of them embraced it, the other one did not.
Right.
You know, and like that's what I got out of that, and it was compelling with that. And again, it all goes back to the way that we did curate our friendships and relationships. And you know that there may be just one person in this world that gets it. And in the 90s with identity, like, I mean, Ellen came out of the closet in 97 and then got blackballed after it, you know, like,
right.
There's a lot of that, like, repression of the real thing going on here in the storytelling. And I kind of do appreciate that in hindsight.
Yeah. I think, you know, I think there's a lot of different themes in this film. It's about sort of acceptance. It's about being sort of an outcast. It's about relating to others, and it's about the choices that we make and the choices we don't make. And, you know, I think I still don't quite know what to think about the character of Maddie. You had said something there, Anthony, that I thought was interesting. I hadn't necessarily considered, but you know, I think the thing about it is Owen, where he starts, and there's that whole scene where they're sitting on the bench and Maddie asks about, you know, she's like, "Oh, well, I'm into girls. What about you? Do you into girls?" And he's like, "Not really." Like, you know, and then
I don't know. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And then she asked her, "Well, you into boys?" Like, "Oh, I don't know." Like, and as they were talking about it, just like TV shows, he said, like,
TV shows.
As they were talking about it, it's you know, it's like he hasn't found himself. He doesn't feel quite right. There's something missing, and he has sort of an opportunity to pursue that, and then makes a decision about whether or not to. You know, I don't want to give too much away. And what his decision is at the end, we see sort of how that manifested and how his decision, you know, was right or wrong, you know, whatever. But there's the sort of the living, exploring your true self or staying status quo because that's what you feel is the right thing to do. Like there's something like he talked about, like something about, when they were talking about the pink opaque, it was Maddie that said something like, when you're watching it, does it feel real to you, or is it, like something like that? And so, and he was thinking about it, and you can sense that they felt differently about the show, about how it affected them. And so I don't know, I thought that was really interesting. And there is an anecdote here, and it's not too thinly veiled. But I think you'd have to know more about Jane Schonenbrun to understand. But Jane is a trans woman and transitioned, I think, like 4 years ago. And that's a big part of this movie. It's sort of, that idea of going for it and doing what you think you should do versus maybe I should just stay the way I am because this is the construct that's been built, and others tell me that this is the way it should be, so I should stay that way. So I thought it was interesting that was sort of like, you don't even have to understand that to like really get, really sort of engage with the movie. But I think if you do understand that, I think it adds more depth to it. Now, you could just look at it in other ways. You could look at it as opposed to being sort of like, a movie about making a decision to be trans, to come out as trans, or to stay the way you are. Or it could just be, I don't know, like staying in a relationship you don't feel is the right thing for you, or staying in a job that, like it feels right, and it's scary.
Benefits.
Oh, it's sorry. It wasn't pointed, Raven Chat. I didn't mean that.
Spend my 25 years is pretty close. I should probably just do that. Get the 401k.
Yeah. So, yeah. Go ahead.
But that's the thing too. Like, and it's funny. Like, I think the themes of this film, I like discussing more than the execution of this film. And for someone who hasn't seen it, if we were all talking, in a bar, we might go more in depth. But I think end of the day, we're all trying to like find. It sounds fucking stupid, right? But like, I was talking to my good friend R, who we've been friends since I was 15 years old. When I was in my early 20s, there was some shit that went down, and we hadn't talked for 25 years. Now, in that time frame, I then met other people. I then maybe it was Aries. Then we met Wolfie and MZ and other people. And you look at who you meet, and when you grow up, I think we always want to know our ideal version of ourselves. I have plenty of flaws. Like, I'm pretty confident I knew I was straight watching Buck Rogers and seeing Wilma. You know what I mean? Like, but I didn't like who I was to a point. I want to be this person. So maybe I fucking grow my hair out. I grow facial hair. I wear black leather. That's what I feel fucking comfortable in. And it's why I still dress the same way at 47 that I did at 17 for the most part, to find my niche and find my peers, where it wasn't, you couldn't go into a chat room in those days. You had to meet certain people or be introduced.
Right.
So I think we're all searching for our final self.
Final form.
Is this right? Like, is there some shit? Well, I don't want, maybe that's weird to me, but it's not my fucking journey.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is I had my fucking journey, and just fucking get there, dude, or them, or person, she, her, whatever the fuck, just get there. And that's dope. And if we get there, maybe there'll be less dicks in the world. Or cunts. The British version.
Is that like the whole plot of the movie? It's like
Jew buster.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Right? Like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we all have. It's
we're all fucked up.
Absolutely, like, you know, like, and I think the older we get, the more we realize how fucked up we are, you know, and it's because when you're young and innocent, you don't really think about that shit very much, but when because you know, you can just do whatever the fuck you want for the most part, and you know, but when you get older, you have to like kind of deal with the ramifications of your actions, and you know, and like, I don't know, like there's a lot more to it, and plus you have lived with yourself for a longer time, so you know, you're starting to be like, oh, like maybe I'm not that person, or maybe I am that person, or you meet someone else and you have an experience and you're like, you know what, like that person's experience sounds like something I should have or I would have had, you know. And so I think the longer you live, the more opportunities you have for that sort of, you know, those sorts of things. And yes, like I think we can all admit it, and Ravenshaw was pretty much just saying it, but yes, we're all flawed. Like I wouldn't have said that 20 years ago, but I am fucking flawed. And I have a lot of shit that I need to figure out and work on, you know, and I definitely wouldn't have said that 20 years ago or even maybe 5 years ago. Yeah. Anthony's showing off his his pill pals.
But you're right. I mean, it took me when I was in my 30s. I kind of, my godchild was like 8 to 10 years old, and my godchild means the world to me. And my godchild it identifies as they them now. They don't use the name that they were born with. They're trying to find their own identity. And we were hanging out one time, and I think I remember saying, I said, look, every 5 years you're just a little different or a lot different than you were, and give yourself that opportunity to change. Because I feel like if we're stagnant in the same person that we were, even if I was 90 and if I'm still the same person at 85, I'll be upset with myself because I didn't allow myself to try something new or grow a little bit. Sure, there are some tenets in our life that we will continue to follow no matter what. But when it comes to the evolution of who I am, that every single day, in my opinion, should change. As long as you're becoming a better person for yourself and your loved ones in the world. That's just the way I look at it. I'm definitely flawed. I'm a disaster in a way. And anybody who knows me will be like, oh, yeah, it's funny. But at the same time, I think, yeah, it's like checking your inventory. And, you know, oh, that happened. That doesn't define me. That happened. That doesn't define me. But maybe this one moment when I was 15 still carries to now. And I think that the courage of the director to do this, I really feel like this was an autobiography. You know? And so in that regard, I tip my cap. Because they're talking about subject matter that me as a privileged white male never had to experience growing up.
Absolutely, yeah.
And this is definitely pulling the curtain back and making the director vulnerable. And while I did preface everything saying that, this boat ain't for me, I really feel it's important for the fact that it is for someone. And I feel like in that regard, it is defining a generation who can understand. So, sorry. It's a deep film, folks. It's a very fucking deep film.
That was good, dude. That was good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree pretty much with everything you said. And it is a very personal film. And, you know, that's, you know, I read a lot of interviews and just different things with Jane Schoenbrunn, and like, for instance, when she did the press tour for this, it was the first time she had did a press tour, you know, as a trans woman, you know, and so that must be kind of a different thing. Like, you're all excited to talk about the movie you just made, but you know, like, I'm not putting words in her mouth, but maybe she felt a little self-conscious about, you know, being in front of audience answering questions or doing like online interviews or whatever. And yeah, so like I think it's brave, and I think it's bold, and I think that this is a really interesting way to do this kind of film, because I do think that this will resonate with a lot of people. It's not going to resonate with others, for sure. It's going to be divisive, but I think for kind of what you said, Anthony, is the audience that it's for is going to get it and cherish it and love it. And and I saw, let me see here. This is just, I'm going to read some of this off of Wikipedia. This is from, let me see here. So I just want to make sure I get the right quote here. Okay, yeah. So Bridget Lundy Payne cited "I Saw the TV Glow" as an allegory for being transgender. Jane Schoenbrunn has frequently described the film as being about the egg crack. And that is a term for the moment in a trans person's life when they realize their identity does not correspond to their assigned gender. And since Owen's choice, well, I'm not going to read this because it's a little bit spoilery. Let's see. A choice he makes is sort of like the ultimate existential crisis of the personal fears of potentially living out a life without going in this direction. Like if so if Jane didn't make this choice, what would that look like? And that's sort of what we're looking at here with the film in some of it. So let's see. Jane Schoenbrunn goes on to say, TV Glow. I saw the TV Glow. It's about something I think a lot of trans people understand: the tension between the space that you exist in, which feels like home, and the simultaneous terror and liberation of understanding that that space might not be able to hold you in your true form. I think many people, even if they are sympathetic to narratives of biological family estrangement, still want to believe in resolution or restorative, reparative work. And I think this does a disservice to queer people who are not in control of whether that work can be done. So, it's kind of a deep thing, because that's a very personal decision. When someone makes that decision, you can't control how other people react. You have to just do what you want to do and then deal with the ramifications later, unfortunately. But ultimately what matters is what you want. And, I think that in this, Owen, sort of some of his decisions are driven by what he feels other people would say, or what other people want for him, or what he thinks is, like the way it should be. So it's just, I think it's really interesting. It's a really deep film that like touches on a lot of different themes, but also has this cool sort of like almost like pop culture like esque sort of like bent to it. So I think it's just a really cool amalgamation of telling this story through the way, through a TV show like The Pink Opaque,
I think.
See, now I want to go back and see what those monsters were, because there's so many deep notes. Like, what does that symbolize? Like, Ice Cream Man is like childhood. Like, are they phases of your life that you're like, oh, you're trying to kill a lot of those memories because they're not true with who your identity is.
Yeah.
So I honestly, now after talking with you folks, I want to watch it again, because I feel like there's so much stuff that you need to follow in it.
I mean, how special is that time? Like, and by special, I mean, there was some shit growing up. Like, I definitely had my era of fucking, this fucking sucked. Whether it be fucking fucks in school or shit going on, with my father. But being a comic fan, the metaphor, the best thing about the best metaphor is the X-Men, right? To be fucking, and I'm not the fucking guy that fucking coined this. Fucking, it's fucking out there. But to be persecuted for what you are or to be looked down upon for what you are, but individually special, is a fucking powerful metaphor. And the going into a cocoon, coming out and be the fucking beautiful, whatever the fuck, you know, when I grew up, dude, or fucking, you know, so whether you want to be a fucking, you know, long haired fucking rocker, or you want to be fucking whatever the fuck, do you, man, or them, or they, or whatever the fuck. And it's very powerful, that time of choosing what your destiny is. And it's powerful. And it could be said that, you know, in times past, you were very limited. Like, it'd be, oh, you got fucking long hair, or you got fucking crazy color in your hair, to quote, you know, Mike Ness, you know, shit. Like, you get earrings or tongue piercings. Or maybe you just want to love somebody that's not someone else's idea of who you love, or you want to be somebody. And, you know, maybe if, you know, not to get all fucking kumbaya and shit, but like fucking, there's a great time to fucking become who you are. Live the gimmick. Be who you want to be, but still have that fucking sense of who you are and keep it real.
Well, just don't be Ric Flair.
Yeah, not now.
You are right, but unfortunately, there are still people who want to take that choice away from people, or their happiness away, which is just like, in this day and age, we should be so far beyond that it shouldn't even be a thing. It's so goddamn frustrating.
Right, like, do you, man? You want to be a fucking rocker? You want to be a fucking hardcore legend? You know, you want to be fucking whatever the fuck? Do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's too bad that there are, you know, potential ramifications, or, you know, like, people out there who will go to great lengths to, you know, to make sure that you are not happy because they don't agree with your ability to do what you want. Like, it's so funny that people talk about, like, America, freedom, but only to a point.
Right,
you know, like,
look, give us you're tired, you're hungry, you're poor. Oh, not these fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Land of the free.
You know,
well,
but God forbid
down.
You're gay, you know, you're a lesbian, you're trans, like, you're black, you know, like, whatever, like.
You don't gotta be
the
into
inner
it.
voice of those oppressors basically say, I'm not familiar with my trauma. I'm too afraid to address it. So I'm going to project that out onto the world, and everybody has to repress it too.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, like truly, like, I'm pretty confident I'm a cis white dude. My shit has nothing to do with fucking that. That's my own fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like, so whatever the fuck you're into, fucking, hey, man. The fuck?
Yeah, it's you know, like, I feel like it is a pretty deep film in that regard, and I wanted to find, there was a couple, like, a tweet I saw earlier that I actually really wanted to read, but I think I closed the window when we started. But
oh, I've closed so many windows, dude. But like what if not to fuck, once again, not to be fucking, if I fucking buy the world of coke, but like, what if people didn't have to fucking suppress their shit and get shit fucking twisted and fucking get fucking nuts and take their fucking trauma, you know, and perpetuate certain cycles? You know what I mean? What if you could stop perpetuating a cycle and do you know? So it's probably not in the next, I'm hoping in the next 4 years, but fucking you guys got to come out, dogs. But like, end of the day, like, what if fucking people just fucking had a chance to fucking do their thing, didn't repress shit, and then figure shit out on their own? I don't know. I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
Oh, God. Let's see. While I'm looking for that, I think that this film has a unique style to it. Like, I like that it's, like, thematically tied together. Like, we have the pink opaque, you know, like, we have, like looking at the poster, just the graphics on like the titles and things like that.
Yep.
It has a style to it, and I think that really helps the film in that regard. You know, it's really cool to see.
I was riveted by the walking between the houses scenes.
Yeah.
When my man was holding his fucking, you know, what do you call it when you go camping?
Sleeping bag?
Sleeping bag. Just him walking between fucking yards. I like that.
Yards.
Yards.
In Amity, we say yads.
But you know, too, like, you know what? I remember the moment where I liked every fucking one of you fucking guys. MZ, it was when we bonded over like Stern, Police Academy, comedians, and sitcoms. Anthony just being a fucking gentleman and being so fucking nice and being a class act. Wolfie, I didn't know. I didn't think you would like me, and that gave me anxiety.
Why?
Because you had your new haircut at that time.
Is that when did we meet when I chopped my hair off?
It was right after that. So I only heard legends when you had long hair the first time.
Oh, okay. That's
And
funny.
you were doing the headband gimmick.
Oh yeah. As soon as I cut my hair, I fucking hated it, so I grew it right out right away.
Yeah. But then we started like it's when you got into Green Lantern, and we started to go to the comic shop
Kyle.
and get all you can eat Pizza Hut buffet.
That's
bro.
right. And we both had the Kyle hair going, huh?
I did, yeah. And you called me. I'm like, oh shit. Like it's true, because I was getting anxiety, and I don't think he'll like me.
Jeez, man, I didn't know this.
Well, I'm buckets of shoot, man. But I just say I love you, all three of you.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, pal, I love you too.
Month Zero ain't saying shit.
No, he's being.
You don't give
This
a
is the
fuck.
quietest he's ever been. I don't really.
He's like, I want to like
so
we're fucking
medicated right now. I love all of you.
Yeah, I can't find the thing I was looking for. It's fine. I'm not going to keep looking for it. But you know, I think there's a lot to this. There actually I just remember one of my favorite scenes is when Owen and Maddie meet up again like years later, and they go to that club. I love that scene where they're talking at the bar. And one of those songs was fucking awesome, right?
So what
It was
about
King,
the music?
King Woman, I think, was the track from that.
Oh, I think that was the King Woman. I think was the band.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I like that solo artist.
Oh, okay. I was talking. King
The one
Woman
with
was.
the spiky hair and
Because there was the one, the Rhea Ripley looking chick.
Yeah,
and
her.
then there was the other one. I like
Yeah,
those lyrics of the first one.
The ambiance of the music totally fits the tone of this film.
Yeah.
Absolutely fits the tone of this film. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that you heard nothing, if I remember correctly, you heard nothing but female artists.
Yeah.
There weren't any male vocals anywhere to be found in this movie.
No,
Even when they play the instruments, that reminded me of being at Club Babyhead. It reminded me of the Safari Lounge. It reminded me of those clubs back in the day. Like I really gravitated to that stuff.
Even the Smashing Pumpkin song in this was a covered by a woman. But let me play. I found a few seconds here. I think this is the song. Let's see. This is Psychic Wound from King Woman. Yeah, she's the spiky haired girl.
Oh, that's King Woman.
Yeah.
I thought that was the band.
Well, no, it is a band. Here's, I think it's a little heavier here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole bit in the club I thought was great. Loved it. Yeah, it's a really atmospheric film, and you know, it deals with some heavy shit, and it's not going to be for everyone, like absolutely. But if it resonates, the people who it does resonate with, like, seems to really resonate with them, you know. So if this if this sort of vibe, if you vibe with this film, you're probably really going to vibe with it, you know? So, you know, there's a lot of people who just like going nuts about how, you know, beautiful it was. I saw it showing up on a lot of best of lists already. So yeah, it's really like just a matter of, how you engage with it. And is this sort of, you know, your childhood, like, or parts of your childhood, I think, you know. Is there anything else you guys wanted to bring up about this? Like, I feel like we've only scratched the surface, but, you know, it's getting a little late here, so I want to see if there's anything else we want to talk about.
Obviously there's lots of interpretation in this, like the generational aspect of it. I mean, it goes from a 2-year jump to a other year jump, and then at one point it's like 20 years.
20, yeah, it's like 2, 10, 20, something like that, yeah.
So on one hand, this film timeline encapsulates a lot of when at least most of us knew each other, at least as a group, to where we're at now, if not in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So is this more an exploration of a shared consciousness as opposed to, I don't know, is this Fisher Price My First Babadook?
No, it's not that.
Okay.
Not Babadook. It's, I mean,
or like
when you were talking about shared consciousness, I was kind of interested. I wanted to see if you had anything further with that.
I was hoping you would take the baton.
Oh.
Let's put it out there. Carry me, brother.
I mean, I think the thing is like the connection here. So they're all sort of, you know, we only see 2 people, and actually there's a third person, Maddie's friend, who connect with the pink opaque. Like most people don't know about it, you know. So in terms of like a collective consciousness, it could be that the people who have seen the show, you know, have a different view on things, you know?
So that's a good thing. That's a good point. Like, once again, this is before, it's on this, stream it. You had to either watch it, be on it, or have your mom fucking record it for you. And she had her counterpart. But then, like, some things I talked to you from my experience, she's like, oh, well, she wants to be a cheerleader now, so she ain't my fucking girl no more.
Right.
And then she wanted to bring in Owen to be, you know, that substitute.
Mm-hmm.
But keep him at arm's length, you know what I mean? But like, you had to turn somebody onto something, and maybe it wasn't something that everybody watched.
Yeah. And the one thing I loved is that when he went to watch it later on, he's like, oh, and now you can stream it. And he went back to watch it, and he thought it was corny. Not evil corny, but, you know.
Not evil corny. No, he didn't throw pumpkin bombs. But, well, that's the thing, too. Like,
and it was different, too, right? Like, the way it was presented, like, he viewed it differently, you know?
And they'll even put it over like, oh, yeah, this was the last show they aired before it went to a different channel.
Yeah.
You know, or once again, there was a time, folks, when there was no broadcasting going on. Like, you would just get the stock, you know, shot. But like anything else, like, oh, shit, that was fucking dope. But you look at it back now, and you're like, oh, that was fucking, like for some reason, like Mr. Boogedy on the fucking Disney Sunday Night Presents fucking scared the shit out of me as a kid. You know, at 47 years old, probably not.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's sort of, I think the thing is when he watched it when he was seventh grade, there was this innocence. He still had this innocence about him, you know,
right.
And he hadn't experienced the real world and all the, you know, sort of limitations that it puts upon you. And then when he's older and he's just sort of resigned himself to the choices he made, it hits different, right? Because it's, you know, he doesn't have that imagination or, you know, he's not as open as he was. So, yeah.
Did anybody struggle with the dialogue of Owen? Would that be mumblecore?
It did sound rather mumblish at times.
Like, I had to turn my volume up to like Marty McFly.
Yeah.
I had closed captions on.
We had
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, there was some mumbling going on, especially in the early part of the film. Like say the first half of the film, there was a bunch of mumbling going on. But I just attributed that to again, going back to that typical 90s teenage angst where they're just too what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is, but they're just, I guess, I for the lack of a better term, I
Just
would say upset.
Kind of intro,
But I would say
morose, melancholy, and
Yeah.
maybe a little introverted and not quite comfortable talking out loud. Yeah.
In talking, it kind of just backs up my whole argument on the 90s teenage situation where they're just all of them, they're just so much in that mind frame that they're just too lazy to even talk, that they just mumble. It's me. I'm not saying that this is exactly how it is, but this is my interpretation of the 90s and the teenage angst that went on during that time. And that's all I see. And I don't know how many movies or TV shows, for that matter, have to follow that pattern of whenever if there's a teenager in the show or in the film, they have to go through this personality disorder where they feel like they just don't care and everything's against them. And I mean, like I said, the 80s was about partying and chicks and fast cars and explosions, and then you hit the 90s and it goes to shit and it turns into this, and just their speech pattern kind of backs up my argument on that.
Well, I have a question for you guys because, as we're speaking, my brain is actually taking this movie in a different direction.
Yeah.
And it's bringing out a lot of good questions. So when was it Maddie brought up the fact and asked the question, do you feel like you're living this? The duality of both of those characters was he the safe voice, the one that mumbled? Because that was the inner dialogue that the director was having at that age. They were meek. They were afraid to become something. And then there was the other rebellious side that just said, no, I'm going to fight for who I am. I need to lead this town. I need to get out of here so nobody knows me, because that town was holding them back from the growth of who they are. So I'm just saying, like, when the show, The Pink Opaque, was canceled the day after Maddie left. What did that symbolize? I want to ask each one of you, what did that symbolize when the show was canceled and Maddie went off? What did that make you think in hindsight?
Me, it said that she had nothing to live for. Because of what we were told, because of her monologue that she gave about 80% into the film, 85% into the film. She gives this lengthy monologue. It's an impressive monologue too, at that. But she spills her guts on what she did. So I think that when the show went off the air, she felt highly suicidal that the show left her, just like the way when she spoke earlier about how her stepfather punches her in the nose. This is just another punch in the nose. Somebody that she thought she could trust, turns out, she couldn't. She felt like couldn't trust it because it was canceled. So she felt like she had nothing left and then became suicidal.
Yeah, it's a good take. I think that's an interesting way to think about it. But yeah, I mean, there's so much to this because it's also like, we could get into what's real and what's not real. Are there some things that just aren't real? Are like, like when I say real, I mean like where some of these. I'm trying to do it without giving anything away. Like I don't want to say like a fucking Tyler Durden kind of situation or something, but.
Because my Wolfie is stuff that I think most of us have experienced.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's going to be the gimmick, whether it's you're in a band or you've been in some movies or you've been a producer, whatever, even like, okay, bye. I'm trying to, okay, bye. I don't give a fuck, dog. Or like, for those watching the live, is this what it's like when I leave?
I was just going to say that's how it feels.
I'm sorry. I'm wicked sorry about that. I will try to do better. But like playing characters, right? We did our silly, NCW, right? Living the gimmick. The persona, like what's the real person, right? Every gimmick is a little bit of your real personality turned upwards.
Right.
And what happens when it ends? Like, I know when Preacher ended, or I don't know, whatever the fuck, like, I don't know.
Well, Smallville hasn't ended for you.
No, it did. And I remember like when it did end, we had DVR and I was with, at the time, my stepsons. And I showed them, I started watching Smallville, myself and Joey Tron at the Manor, right up September 11th. And then as it progressed, I had a certain continuity and turned on a new generation to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I had plans. I could have gone out that Friday night because it moved to Friday nights. And the Thoughts and Prayers said, no, we have to watch it live. And I was like, oh, shit. Fuck yeah, we do. We can't fucking DVR this. And it was that emotional connection that I would never change watching it with them for anything when that final scene happened and that pop. And maybe it's funny when a show, a movie, a friend, a gimmick can mean so much more to you, but I think that's the biggest thing this movie does. And maybe I'll take it one step further. Like, you don't have to be from the 90s to get, you should not have to be from the 90s to get this. There's a reason why Dazed and Confused still resonates. There's a reason why American Graffiti still resonates. Now, I remember being 17, watching Pulp Fiction, and the first trailer was Clerks, the black and white picture, by the guy that made the Walrus movie for some of you kids.
The Walrus movie.
But I was 17, bagging groceries in a grocery store, and that Kevin Smith channeled that stuff. But there are still kids coming on to it. I guess I'm trying to Stand By Me. Great example. That was my parents' generation. We rented that. I totally had that. I got it. So I think the time of the time it's set in helps. Again, it's set in Boston. We'll fucking watch that. Fucking Departed. Fucking whatever the fuck. But if it's the time frame should really need to work. The time frame should be evergreen. I mean, goddamn, watch fucking Private Ryan.
Yeah, when you want a fucking uplifting film.
Yeah, I love comedy.
Follow it up with Requiem for a Dream while you're at it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm getting emotional.
You don't have to be sorry for getting emotional.
All right.
All right, I won't.
Someone can fucking back me up.
Well,
I think that this film, while it may not be the cultural zeitgeist that most of those other films were at the time, I feel like, if we are going to progress as a society in 100 years, they're going to look back at this film being like, oh, that was the struggle. I think that's what I take away from this, that it's very important for a group of people who may not be accepting of that voice to say, go with who you are. So I do feel it's very generational in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, I think we should start to wrap this up, mostly because it's getting a little late, and I know MZ's gonna leave soon. We do have a couple voice messages, so let's do the verdict, and hopefully we'll leave MZ for, I don't know, whenever he gets back. Yeah, why don't we do that? We'll wrap things up, and let's do the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right. It is time for the verdict. We're going to let you know whether this film was a trick or a treat, and any final thoughts. Oh, look at that. Sitting down right in time. Just in time, MZ. We're about to begin the verdict, so we usually kick off with you, so why don't we go to you?
Okay, well, I'll make this short and sweet. This is a generational film, and it's a generation that's past mine. I don't need my hand held to watch a film, to understand a film, but man, this is a pretzel of a flick. And the twists, turns everywhere, and
I'm gonna put that on the box. A pretzel of a flick.
Right? The narrative seems like it should be pretty straightforward, and it's not. And there's a lot of hidden meanings and meanings in plain sight, but I really don't understand the connection between them. The acting is okay. It gets boring after a while because everyone is so damn depressed all the time. There's not a hint of joy anywhere. The lead actor, Owen, the guy who played Owen, not once did I ever believe that he was in the 9th grade, in the 11th grade, or in his 40s, or in his 20s. He didn't look right at all in any of his age groups, even his own. He was just annoying after a while. I don't know what his on-screen narration has to do with any of this.
Breaking the fourth
I found
wall.
that to be his most interesting thing was his on-screen narration. Let's see. The characters themselves, and I'm talking about Mr. What's his name?
Melancholy.
Mr. Melancholy and the Ice Cream Man, and all those. I thought those were interesting. Very well done.
Yeah.
Interesting, well done. I thought the show of the Pink Opaque, the way they shot it, was really, really good. It looked just like it should on tape. So that looked pretty genuine. I appreciated that. But again, like I said, this is not only because of the hidden meanings or in front of you meanings of what this whole movie means, as well as the time frame that it's set in. I could see how people can love this movie and appreciate this movie, but it's just not for me. This is just way past me. And so because of that, I'm giving that a trick.
All right. Let's go to Michael Ravenshadow.
I mean, I got to say, I like the discussion of this film probably more than the execution. You know what I mean? With that said, I'm not saying, aside from the mumblecore, you know what I mean? I emphasize that. aside from the need for subtitles. But I really like the conversation. And I think if this film was about something that I can't necessarily relate to, I feel I can still extract something from this that I can take with me from my experience in that time frame, or at least as a growing human being, hopefully getting better than I was before. I think there's a lot of Eye of the Beholder stuff in here. I enjoyed the cast. I enjoyed a lot of the scenes. There was some weirdness. There was a level of uncomfortability. Will I watch this again? I don't know unless there was a true need for it, but it's not a slight to the director or anybody involved. I think I got it. I had a great conversation. I definitely agree it's not on that level of some of those most iconic archetype coming of age stories, but let's let time tell. Maybe I don't fucking know. You never know. You never know what's gonna fucking be a hit. Fucking Mallrats flopped, Office Space fucking flopped, fucking Big Trouble in Little China flopped. Fuck you. You're not fucking seeing Big Trouble in Little China back in the day, you fucking dummies.
It's a flop of seagulls.
Yeah, you fucking flopped the fucking seagulls, dog. So see what happens. I'm trying to say is, do you? Tepid treat. What are you gonna do?
Is that a question or rhetorical?
You tell me.
That's gonna be on the box. Treat. Tepid treat. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's going to be right underneath MZ's A Pretzel of a Flick.
yeah. It's like fucking Mrs. Max.
Mrs. Max. Holy shit, I haven't thought about that in a while.
Fucking.
All right, let's go with Anthony. Let's hear your verdict.
Thank you.
I came into this thinking it was a hard trick. But again, the conversation we had, sometimes a film doesn't just resonate for everybody. And, it's not a perfectly baked pie. Sometimes they turn out to be a mess. Sometimes they're a little all over the place, but you may not want to eat it, but somebody else will. And I also dare to say that this is important for a lot of people. The dialogue we had from this, if that's what people take from it, then I think that this movie is a roaring success and is an important film for a generation and for a lot of people who have the inner dialogue of, I'm conflicted, should I play it safe, or I don't care what the world thinks, I'm being me and I'm being happy being me. I think that that's a very important conversation to have, and in that regard, for that, I will give this, I can't believe how the compass changed for me, but during the dialogue, this is a very high treat, in my opinion, for the simple fact that films sometimes make you talk, and it may not resonate with you, but if at the end of the day we're learning something new about people that will help our society as a whole, then I think it's very important, and therefore it's a treat. Sorry.
All right. Cool. I like that the conversation sort of made people think differently or reevaluate. For me, before I get to my verdict, I finally found that tweet I was looking for earlier. There's two, actually. And I don't know who these tweets are from. I don't know anything about these people. So, I don't know what age group they're in or what gender or whatever. But one of them says, I saw the TV Glow is easily one of the best films of the year. I kind of feel like the wind got knocked out of me. The horror of knowing yourself, but being too scared to be that version you're literally aching to be, and then wondering if it's too late. Just absolutely perfect. And then the other one was, I saw the TV Glow, a horror film where life is scarier than death, and existential daily terror is heightened by a better reality just out of reach where everything makes sense. beautiful, intense, and sad in a way that's hard to shake.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like that's the one that I was referring to earlier. I just like the way that person put it. A horror film where life is scarier than death, and existential daily terror is heightened by a better reality just out of reach, where everything makes sense. You know, so for me, this is a treat. I think the direction and the narrative I thought was really strong, despite it being kind of a bit of a surreal film with a lot of really stark, beautiful imagery. And it's like, I can't think of a good analogy. I was going to say it's like David Lynch by way of like,
Nickelodeon.
Not necessarily Nickelodeon. I was going to think of
Adult Swim.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Something a little like weird and also a little bit more emotional. Like I feel like David Lynch, a lot of his stuff is sort of sterile in the fact that like the characters are very robotic a lot of times and usually purposefully done. But in this, I feel like it was like Lynch with heart, with a more heart and emotion, you know. And but anyways, I think it's a really cool flick, and artistically, it is very impressive. And I think that to me is the thing that I like most about it, is that it presents this really fucking big, heady, existential dilemma that we can only begin to imagine what it's like. Like we can think of in terms of, you know what, like, yeah, like, you know, we had relationships or something like that didn't feel right. And then, you know, we kind of wondered if it was the right thing to do. And then on the other side, we came through and we feel better about things. But that's way different than changing your gender, your identity, like everything like that. Like, so in no way would I relate the two. So I can't necessarily relate to that. However, you know, there are some things that are relatable that we can take, you know, and say like, oh, well, yes, I can see how a tough decision could impact somebody. But then as it relates to gender and identity, I can see, you know what, like I'm sure that is something that is way bigger than I can possibly even fathom, you know. So while we can't completely engage with it, I still feel that there is enough there that we can relate to and we can understand. Because, yeah, like I think all of us at some point in our lives, we don't want to be Owen at the end of this movie, right? Like we don't want to have lived our lives and wish that we had done it differently, or wish that we had embraced who we are. And, you know, I feel like a lot of, I mean, that's kind of like a midlife crisis in a way. Like, I think a lot of times a midlife crisis is the start of that, where people are like, holy shit, I'm fucking 40, 50, whatever. And I feel like I haven't lived. I need to do something fucking crazy, you know?
And
go ahead.
You know what? But there's something, I think we are lucky in that, despite all our fucking flaws collectively. I'm reserving my judgment on Anthony because he's a fucking pervert. He's a brother of the highest order.
I'm a deviant.
But like, yeah, like everyone, whether you want to be fucking Eddie Van Halen, right? Or I'm sorry, that's an old fucking reference, Wolfie. Or you want to be whatever your hero is, or you want to be a fucking chick, you want to be a dude, you want to be a whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like whatever your icon that you want to be, your person, your persona, we can all relate to that. Whether you want, oh shit, I wish I had fucking better teeth, you know what I mean? Like, or whatever the fuck, you can always get down with that. And I think that's a universal theme. Who am I going to become?
I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm, you know, and maybe we're at a point where we've gotten a little bit closer to figure it out. but if this new take on this with a different mindset, right? Because for the most part, it's always been, on one hand, to MZ's point, we want to be fucking raw, fucking dude, or a woman maybe want to be fucking clackety clow, but maybe there's some other shit that people are feeling that they can't relate to it. So I don't know, man. You don't know what's gonna fucking touch someone or move someone or give them the spark to light the fucking fire. And whatever that is, that's fucking dope. Do you? Fuck them. If they can't fucking take a joke. You know what I mean?
You know what, Raven Shadow? Speaking of modern Red Sox players, I think you would like Jaron Duran. And he has a shirt that says "fuck 'em," and he writes it on the inside of his wrist tape, because he has come out to talk about his mental health struggles, and basically that's his motto. Like his mantra is "fuck 'em." Like, so maybe you should look into some more modern sports stars.
Yeah, well, maybe he should look at to give me a fucking cut because I fucking. All right, just saying.
Give you a cut.
Yeah.
Oh, he's pretty cut. Like dude's fucking ripped.
Dude's jacked and he runs like a rabbit.
Yeah. So
well, I fuck like a rabbit.
Jesus Christ. You fucking genetic jackhammer over here.
Too, didn't I?
Yeah, just real quick. I run away.
All right. So, yeah, that is, so that's going to do it. That's going to wrap up our discussion of I Saw the TV Glow. And, man.
Oh, shit.
For next week, I was actually hoping, we had a film program, but one of our Patreon takeover guests would like to do the film. So we're going to hold off on that one. So the one I was going to pick is on VOD, but it also hits Shudder in a couple weeks. So I'm just wondering if we should wait till it hits Shudder.
So the Toxic Avenger made it to Shudder, or we're never going to see it?
When is that coming out? Do we even know?
They announced today, never.
What?
It literally, the new Toxic Avenger movie is DOA.
I read that that's a fake. That's a fake article because no one else is reporting it.
All right. I was about to say, think of Uncle Lloyd, please. Please, at the end of the day, think of Lloyd Kaufman.
Oh man. Okay, good. And you know what? Let's fuck it. Let's just do it because a lot of stuff's coming out soon. So if we wait, maybe it'll get pushed. But we're gonna do a Cronenberg film. Not David, not Brandon, but Caitlin. We're going to do the film directed by Caitlin Cronenberg called Humane. And this is streaming on VOD currently. And it will be hitting Shudder on July 26th, if I have my dates correct here. So, yeah. So we're going to check out the film from Caitlin Cronenberg. And that is Humane. All right. Well, we have a couple voice messages, but I know MZ's about to turn into a pumpkin. So you want to go ahead and turn into that fucking pumpkin, MZ?
Yeah, I'm going to turn into a pumpkin.
It's going to turn into a blumpkin.
So, Anthony, good seeing you, man.
Good seeing you too, bud.
All right, yeah, and I'm sure we will cross paths again on this forum once again sometime soon.
I hope so.
I hope so too. And as for the rest of you, arrivederci, douchebags.
All right, see you, MZ. Take care, bud.
All right, later, guys.
Later.
Right.
All right. So we will got 2 voice messages. We'll get to these, and then we'll wrap up. How are you doing, Anthony? You holding up over there?
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, man, I think I turned a corner around 8 o'clock tonight, right when this happened. So perfect.
All right, great.
I've been saying that your video healed you.
I would say that in the Mucinex too. Doing pretty good.
That'll do it. Oh, good. All right. Well, glad to hear you're doing okay. Let's wrap things up here. And first, let's hear from. We have 2 Joshes. Why don't we go with Joshua Libre?
Fucking yeah.
Yo, what up, Trick or Treat Radio? Joshua Lieber here. Just want to leave you guys a voicemail regarding the latest Patreon episode, the one that just dropped Saturday morning, cartoon horrors. I love the ideas. It really got me thinking about what the hell, I would come up with. But I definitely love the 3 ideas that you guys brought up in the episode. I'm just saying, if I was a studio, I would definitely greenlight all 3 projects.
Wow.
We'll make it a trilogy and see what happens after that. But I would make it exclusively theatrical, 90-day window. None of this streaming bullshit.
I like
None
that.
of this 1 week in a theater and the next week it's on VOD. Nah. We're doing 90-day exclusive theatrical window. Scare Bears, the Care Bears horror version. I mean, the merchandising alone is gonna fund, all 3 movies. I think just from
Thank
that. A great choice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next project. The Smurfs horror version. That's probably gonna be NC-17.
Yeah.
The sexual violence alone, might push it to that, but that's okay. It's a movie. It's
NC-45.
Nobody's getting hurt, but that's okay. NC-17, Smurfs.
A Smurfian film.
And the
Yes.
Wuzzles with the Silver Beaver. That project, I mean, I'm thinking IMAX. You gotta have the Silver Beaver in IMAX. I mean, that's the only way to show it. So yeah. And I mean, imagine the action figures, the merchandise for Silver Beaver. That would be fucking awesome, So yeah, I see the potential in all 3, and these are all going. I'm thinking October releases.
Wow.
3 years, one every October.
Yep.
Perfect. It works. It works for me. So I would definitely do that. Definitely green light. And but yeah, just wanted to say I love all 3 pitches. Let's do all 3. Fuck it.
Hey.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for the time. Have a great show and talk to y'all later. Bye.
Raven Shadow, 3 movie deal. We just got a 3 fucking movie deal from Joshua Libre.
That's a fucking 5-star trilogy, brother, right there, pal. God damn,
Rub your
Joshua.
sleeve for good luck, man. 3-picture deal already. Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. I want fucking Joshua Libre and fucking Carando to fucking make some shit happen, dude. Like, I just love him so much. Well, both of them, but it was so dope hanging out with Joshua Libre. Once the audio got fixed, but no, such a brother. I love him so much, and he's completely right.
And I hate to correct Joshua Libre because he just greenlit our films. But,
I was gonna let it go, but I guess you're gonna fucking fuck with him. That's cool.
But just because I liked it's Beaverback is the amalgamation of a silverback gorilla and a beaver.
Yeah. I was gonna let it go, but that's cool.
That's got to be a college football logo somewhere waiting to happen.
Beaverback and
IMAX.
IMAX.
Fucking Guardians.
I like a Smurfian film. I think Anthony just fucking yeah.
Could you imagine that?
That's why it's a collaboration. All of us, Anthony, producer Libre.
It's NC 1976.
Yeah, it's NC 75.
You must.
Gargamel is the porn star.
Well, oh god, I don't want to give too much because we just released the Patreon episode today. I want people to go listen to that. But
there you go.
In it, Gargamel. I'll just say Gargamel and Smurfette.
Well, no,
Oh.
we're not. That was in the first draft. We're not saying we're going to film that.
No.
If that actually makes it, it's like the failure of society right there. It's over.
I feel my. All right. Well, you know what? BF, you know what? It gets fucking weird. But you know what? 2 fucking bones, dude. For real, legit. That's fucking less than a fucking cup of coffee at the fucking
Yeah,
coffee
$2 $2 a month. I went to go get Tanya a coffee the other day. Like we don't really go out all that often these days, but I went to go get her a soy matcha latte. It was like $6.
Yeah.
$6. I mean, I don't mind. Like, but to get fucking
you say it,
Patreon,
but you were a little pissed off though. You were a little.
Was it
fucking
put in a
pissed off.
Dixie cup too?
pretty much. I mean, I was a little surprised, but the thing is, that's 3 fucking months right there of Patreon, right?
You know what was $2 yesterday for me?
What?
Air in my tires.
What? Air's free, dude.
I can't blow my fucking radio, dog. Maybe your fucking vegan lungs can, but I can't be like.
You pay $2 for something that's all around us.
Well, I went to the fucking Ready Mart.
You're a smoker. You should be able to fucking figure it out. Oh wait, you don't have any lung capacity. Sorry.
No, listen, here's what's fucked up though. It was fucking $2.50 if you use your fucking card, right? That's fucked
Well,
up.
if you buy gas, it's fucking $1.75, right?
I don't know what it was, but $2. Here's what I'm trying to tell you, Wolf. Here's why I'm in marketing. Okay. So for the $2 I spent to fucking put my fucking air in my tires, last time I did that, 4 months ago, $2, you get 4 months of content before you get to fucking fill your tires.
Yeah, but we want people to do $2 a month. So just fill your tires once a month.
I'm saying buy the fucking good ones, spend extra, and that way your $2 fucking dollars can check out what fucking Joshua Libre is talking about.
Ollie has strong opinions about you paying $2 for air.
He does. He was fucking pissed. Let me give him a hug and a kiss. Hang on.
It's funny. I don't know. Down here, you know Anthony, because we went to the fucking Royal Farms arena to go see Full Gear. But there's a Royal Farms right down the road, free air. I don't pay for air.
Why would you? I mean, I'm actually ashamed of the fact that I didn't monetize air before that guy
No,
did,
right?
You know?
Yeah, they monetize water. Now
We're
they
gonna
monetize
sell
air.
them air.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Canned
Genius.
air, compressed air. We have all the air.
The cheat code is if you park in the summer in the sun,
yeah,
you're going to gain 2 pounds of square pressure guaranteed every damn day. So just
there you
don't
go.
pay
Oh,
the system, man.
that's
just
a
park
nice.
in the sun.
Yeah, that's a tip.
I park in a fucking garage, dude.
When are they
That'll
gonna
do it?
When are they gonna make craft air? You know,
Like with cheese?
Craft,
no,
craft
like
air
craft
and cheese.
like craft beer.
Oh, shit.
You know,
Speaking of craft, I finished the fucking Tom Brady fucking roast, dude.
oh shit, I still haven't watched the last like hour or whatever it is.
I mean, I know no one cares but the three of us, but goddamn, Tony fucking at the end killed it. His dark poetry was fucking fantastic.
Tony, who's
Tony? He just killed Tony on YouTube, I think. I don't know his name. Last
He was
name.
great.
He was fantastic. The one guy, Jeff Ross, who totally stole some of Bill Hicks jokes. It was the for the war but against the troops. Legit, he stole. Made a Bob Kraft massage joke, and the part when Tom Brady stood up and said, "Shut that shit down," was awesome.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guy.
oh shit, sorry.
Oh, shit.
I think Josh has something to say.
Yeah, I was trying to get us queued up, and I didn't mean to hit play. Sorry.
Speaking of Josh Kraft,
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess we'll just we'll play Josh, and then we'll wrap up here. So let's hear from Arkham Josh.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, it's Arkham Josh here. Just calling in with my thoughts on this week's film. I saw the TV Glow. I was very much excited to see this film. I really enjoyed Jane Schoenbrun's We're All Going to the World's Fair. It's a very interesting film. And definitely kind of like a creepy mood piece more than just like a more traditional horror film. So I kind of had a feeling going into this that it was not going to be a very standard film. I was actually lucky enough, I think back in like April, one of my yearly projection jobs is for a film festival here in Providence, the Ivy Film Festival at Brown, and this showed there, and I actually had the opportunity to watch it twice in one day, so I could really kind of let it sink in.
Yeah.
I did not get a chance to rewatch it for this call, but I am looking forward for a chance to sit down sometime and really revisit it. So, I did very much enjoy this film. I thought it had some fantastic visuals. I thought the actors were really good. It was a very interesting story. I thought the aspect of the 90s TV show, they kind of really nailed the look of that, looking back at it. I thought that was very interesting.
Yep.
Now, the story itself is... All right, I understand that it has to do with identity and a lot of these things. And there are certain aspects of it that didn't quite click with me. Not that it didn't work, but I feel very much like that the message of this story, the story itself, it's not made for me personally. I'm not necessarily the target audience. I believe that there are people who this will click with, and they will very much have a personal connection to the story. So that's why I just feel like there was just something about it that I didn't get, and that is not a bad thing, because not every film is for every person, and I still thoroughly enjoyed the viewing experience. And like I said, I watched it a second time, twice in one day, and will gladly watch it again because it is a wonderful film. And so obviously this is going to be a treat and recommend coming from me. If you guys have not yet seen We're All Going to the World's Fair, I highly recommend it. It's also a very interesting kind of abstract film piece. A little more streamlined and simpler than this one, but definitely still very good. So, and this is definitely one of those filmmakers where I am fascinated to see what they do next. I will, whatever is next from them, I will watch. So, all right. I'm really interested to hear what you guys thought of it, and I hope you guys are all doing good. Monster Zero, I believe I will be seeing you in New Hampshire this weekend at Monster Expo. I will be there vending with, lots of DVDs, Blu-rays, records, all sorts of fun things. So hopefully I'll see you there, and hopefully I'll see the rest of you guys sometime soon, or, get to talk to you in person sometime soon. And I hope you all have a great day. Okay, bye.
All right, Josh. As always, good to hear from you. And I appreciate the insight. He did get a chance to see it twice in theater, which is pretty cool. And he sort of in a way, like, Josh is about roughly same age as this as this group for the most part, and like it wasn't necessarily made for him, but he was able to appreciate it, and especially the artistry behind it, and looking forward to seeing what Jane Schoenbrunn does next. So
it's a moment in time through a different lens.
Yep. Yeah.
And maybe it wasn't necessarily our moment, even though there's overlap in the fucking Vin Diesel diagram, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know. People are fucked up.
Including us. All right.
I love Josh. Josh is great people.
He's fantastic.
He's a great
such
dude,
a brother.
Brother rating, Raven Shadow?
Oh, out of 10.
Hey, speaking of which, before we leave, I wanted to make sure we gave a birthday shout out to another brother and a Rock and Shock alum, Joel Robinson. His birthday's tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
Nice. Okay.
Very gifted artist, and helped us with our Spooktacular one sheet. I pushed hard for him to do it after I saw the work he did with Survival of the Film Freaks cover. And
nice. keep going.
Yep. Like that. Like I saw that and I said, why the hell don't we have that for Spooktacular?
Yeah.
And we connected with him. And I really feel if you folks look it up and you look at the cover of Spooktacular, that outside of Vincent Price, you'll get the vibe for the layout in Berlin. So happy early birthday to Joel, man. Thank you.
And I just, speaking of Wolfie telling me I don't put anybody fucking over, I have that poster hanging out in the old studio. And just want to throw out, I listened to a recent Outside the Cinema episode today where they talked about the Doom generation, which was also from that 95 time period. And an interesting, not a like-to-like or apple-to-apple comparison, but similar thing from our time frame. And just want to say big ups to Bill. Good luck, brother. And I love you, Chris, for all the sharing and, you know, all that shit. Just saying.
They won't hear this, but it's nice of you to say.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to put somebody over.
You did. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
That should be like, you know, like the word of the day from like Pee-wee's Playhouse or something, you know?
Yeah, the Raven Shadow over
Raven
the day. Fucking,
yeah. Maybe you should put someone over every week.
I should, yeah.
Other than yourself.
The fucking Raven Strapper.
Yeah, the
Speaking
Raven
of
Strapper.
OTC and Bill Fulkerson, he has a few screenings of another very heartfelt film to him. Don't Forget to Leave, I believe. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Don't Forget to Leave is going to be playing in a few locations in the next few weeks. So follow him, man. It's an important story he's telling too from the loss of a friend. So yeah, big ups to Bill.
And there's a fucking festival going on. We can buy like $12. You get a fucking ticket. I wrote it down upstairs. It's on my fucking receipt from the fucking pizza delivery last night. But that's a shoot. But yeah, it's like $12. You can watch something and fucking put Bill over. But one last thing. I know fucking our pal Anthony is sick. But I just need him here to fucking call you out a little bit, Wolfie.
Okay.
Oh,
He gets some backup.
into.
All right, go ahead.
Anthony. Wolfie gives me shit for using the term gimmick as a fucking noun. But I feel
No, wait,
that,
let me correct you. I give you shit for using it like 14 times an episode.
Listen, bro.
Okay, brother.
I mean, you want to talk about a word that is used so frequently now. Like, you could take all right, so say I'm taking, a pill. I can be like, oh, check out the gimmicks I'm eating. Like, it just applies to everything.
See, to Anthony, you listen to.
I've heard it used, like, I'll turn my head being like, did you just use gimmick to describe that?
Right?
Like, you got to be a real brother
Yeah,
in the business to just use it for everything.
The only thing is only people who like are into like wrestling culture and wrestling podcasts use it that way.
I honestly use it a lot too at home. My wife's like, "Did you call that a gimmick?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did.
You'd be like, you say to your boy, you'd be like, "Oh, did you do that fucking pooping gimmick again?"
Let me give you a bottle gimmick. Let me fucking squirt that rubber baby bottle nipple gimmick.
Literally anything you can get your hands on to keep him entertained, you can call a gimmick.
Yeah.
It could be a hammer. It could be a loaded firearm. It could be a stuffed elephant. It's a gimmick.
Okay, Raven Chow. So are you saying I should stop giving you shit for using gimmick 30 times an episode?
But like all I'm saying is like, I get those fucking bill gimmicks in the mail. Gotta fucking pay them to fucking make the lights come on. Like fucking
bills are not a gimmick. Unfortunately. I wish they were.
I got my electric gimmick this month.
I get all those National Grid gimmicks.
You know what? Actually, let me tell you about a gimmick that has to do with a bill. Yesterday, BGE down here, Baltimore Gas and Energy, they had a savings day between 2 and 6. If you use less power than you normally do, you get like a bill credit. Like for every kilowatt hour, you use less than normal. So of course, you know, like they encourage you to fucking like use less electricity. So for me, I just was like, you know what? Let's not use the fucking AC today. Let's see how that goes. It was a fucking.
Let's run this gimmick during the hottest time of the year.
Exactly.
Right?
It was fucking 93 degrees yesterday, and at like so it went from 2 to 6. So I fucking gave up on the gimmick at 5:30. I'm like, it's so fucking hot in here. I'm like, I can't do this gimmick. But you know what?
11, dog.
You know what? I got an email today. I saved $7. I'm gonna get a $7 bill credit for keeping it off for 3.5 fucking hours. What a gimmick!
After heat stroke, that comes in real handy.
Yeah, after the hospital bill, it'll.
Like last year, Mary and I were at the BJ's. Listen, regional. Like
I don't.
it's like
We don't need to.
Costco
We
or
don't.
like
Yeah,
a
we don't
whatever
need to
fuck.
hear about what you guys do. It's cool.
Let's slow it down. Big box store, but like I might have been fucking high as a kite, up and away. I fucking come down in a couple of days.
You're
But
doing that pot gimmick.
I was doing that fucking. I was doing that fucking medicinal gimmick.
You hollow out a tin can and you turn it into a makeshift bong, and you just hand it off, be like, "Oh, give me the gimmick."
Somebody pop a hole in the fucking can. Not advocating, but there was a dude with a clipboard. You could like get your National Grid electric gimmick through another outsource, and then give you a fucking discount if you're a fucking BJ's member. But not for nothing, I haven't paid fucking over $200 in like fucking 6 months, dog. And that's daddy running the AC gimmick, 2 AC gimmicks, plus a dehumidifier.
Best investment is a very long extension cord to use your neighbor's outside socket.
Yeah, it was a long cord.
That's what I would have done. I would have kept the AC on in my apartment, lowered all my shit, but run an extension cord to my neighbors and just absolutely railroad him out of getting his discount. But we got ours.
It's quite a fucking gimmick.
Well, your
that's
steering
a
whole
racket
gimmick.
tech.
It's the
Yeah, it's
fucking,
what's the difference between a racket and a gimmick, Raven Shadow?
it's a fucking.
Jim Cornette.
Yeah,
boy.
Yeah, boy. He says, "Yeah, boy," and gets up and walks away. Yeah, boy.
Oh, come on. There's a reason every Thursday I tune in, and thanks for having me on this time.
Of course, man. We'll have to make it a regular thing for sure because it's always a blast.
It.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we actually when I've been on, we've reviewed 2 very deep films.
Yeah.
One very straightforward, one very veiled and complex, which I can take them both, but at the same time, we had some deep films. Maybe next time we can get that VHS I sent you the other day. Like MZ had actually seen it, the 30-minute
Yeah,
film.
I knew he had. Yeah. No, next time we'll have to do like something with like just purely like fart and dick jokes or something,
Well, you know what? Honestly, I was thinking the other day, and maybe we can do a Patreon of the entire Stern Channel 9 series.
Oh my God.
Each episode. I have them all.
Jesus.
We could stream them.
Dude, come over, bro.
You got it.
Over.
I got them on VHS.
Dude has.
Can I stay over then? We can make like a tent fort in your basement.
No,
probably.
just do what they do in fucking I Saw the TV Glow. He'll leave you fucking tapes. Or you can go
Well,
to
leave them in the dark room for you.
Yeah, or you can
Why
go
can't I
do a
sleep downstairs
sleepover.
in a fucking sleeping bag. I could bring Ollie. We'll fucking camp out. That'd be fun.
Hey, we're here, but just remember, I got to get out of town. This place is killing me.
All right,
we watched 2. I got to watch this movie again. Actually, there's a lot of questions I have to have answered.
Well, I think. Go ahead, Ramshaw.
This sucks. No, I don't want this to fucking end.
Well, it's got to end.
I don't want to. But no, I did.
Unless you
I
want to
did
pay
get
the
positive-
hosting fees this month.
Oh shit! Patreon. It's $2 fucking a month. We're coming up short, but no, I did get positive feedback from Marion from the X chromosome gimmick. That was positive feedback.
The X chromosome gimmick.
Was a woman, right? The woman gimmick.
We could open up such a can of worms with that after watching this movie too.
I know.
I like that term. It makes me laugh. And,
Walk up to the director and be like, "So, I like this gimmick you had."
I like your little pronoun gimmick.
Oh, God.
Don't say that. That's fucking wrong.
Oh, God.
Don't fucking do that.
Thankfully, no one listens to the end of the
But
show.
But it also is completely within the realm of possibility for
with
someone who uses gimmick all the time to get into a situation as dumb as that.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm going to use this fucking a key card gimmick to get in the fucking door because I work here.
What happens when your key card gimmick doesn't work?
Hey, pass me the gimmick. Do you mean the ketchup? Yes, that's what I mean.
Give it a little Hunts gimmick.
Give it a little Hunsky.
Yeah, give me a little fucking.
You know what's funny? Like, this brings me back to like the first time I heard wrestlers call like the merch table, like the gimmick table.
The gimmick table, right.
Like, I was like, what? Like, oh yeah, we're gonna be hanging out at the gimmick table. Come, see us and buy some shirts. And that was the first time I heard it. But Raven Shadow takes that to like the fucking nth degree.
Fucking adore it. And truly, it's truly Gallows and Anderson really turned me on to that.
Oh,
like
God.
those fucking guys. I fucking adore.
God damn.
God damn, pal.
But yeah, now
when they would do
this
the
has
fucking-
evolved into me using SKI at the end of everything I say now because I know that's the
Big
evolution.
shoot Popski.
Take a few bumpskis.
Yo, Vince, that Olympic guy is a little bit stiff ski.
It's so we could do a whole episode on that jargon too. So, but my God, yeah. You know what? I get it. Gimmick. See, now I'm going to use gimmick all day tomorrow. Thanks.
I'm gonna fucking Pepto-Bismol gimmick.
Well, let's do that ending
That
the
ginger ale
episode.
gimmick.
Let's do the ending the episode gimmick.
Yeah.
I don't fucking fine.
It's midnight.
I got Grubhub coming.
Yeah. Oh man, Anthony's got Grubhub coming. I gotta fucking upload this episode. What, Rachel? What are you doing?
Slim pickings right now.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
All I had was broth earlier, so I kind of inadvertently
Get David Lee broth.
David Lee broth.
The cover instead of a chicken is like his face.
Give me a glazed donut and a bottle of David Lee broth to go.
And a bottle of beef fucking Bergeron. What the fuck?
Beef Bergeron?
I don't know.
See, now we can go into Tom Bergeron, but that's a whole different episode too.
Callback. That's not a callback. Like I just.
Oh, you mean bullion? That's what you mean.
Bullion. Yeah.
Bergeron.
The fucking gold.
Beef Bergeron.
Beef,
That's like a punk band
beef
name.
Bergeron. Beef Bergeron.
We're Beef Bergeron.
1, 2, 3, 4.
See you at the gimmick table.
Eyes find dry fear.
Beef Bergeron at the gimmick table.
Only the three of us will fucking laugh.
Get your Beef Bergeron at the gimmick table. See you there.
That's Jacques Rougeau's new gimmick.
Beef.
Oh, nobody's listening.
Shit.
I'm gonna be every time I'm on the show now. I'm gonna wear my Patrice Bergeron shirt just as an homage to that.
Beef Bergeron.
Remember when he was fucking driving the Zamboni when Hazel May was on fucking Sports Center, fucking Nesson?
Mm-hmm.
I had a huge fucking Hazel May thing.
Yeah.
I had a huge gimmick for Hazel May. I'll tell you that much.
Hazel May going to the gimmick table for Michael Ravenshaw.
I had the arousal gimmick going on.
Anthony, I will laugh at. I miss you. I want to.
I thought you say I want you. I miss you. I want you.
I want you to want me. I want you. I want to have when you're feeling better, and I want to get some steak and a baked potato, and then maybe spend some time in some dick soup. You know, like a hot tub, and see what happens.
We'll head down to Cuddles and Bubbles after a nice steak dinner.
Yeah, no, in the
Get that-
Grafton, we'll go to fucking
Get that dinner gimmick going.
What's that gimmick? What's the
The hot tub gimmick.
hot tub gimmick, the seaside
Yeah,
gimmick.
I'm gonna wake up early and make you a breakfast gimmick, and then
give me the scrambled eggs gimmick.
my kid's gonna go into kindergarten calling everything a gimmick.
Everything's a
Wow.
gimmick. I ain't doing this homework gimmick you're talking about.
And then he had this computer gimmick. I don't even know what it did.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
What a can of worms we just opened up.
Yeah.
I'll be laughing at myself all night.
All right, so I think we'll cap it there because this will go all night.
Legit.
So all right, well, Anthony, if you have anything to update about Spooktacular, please feel free. Or if you want to use this platform to just promote yourself, anything,
I appreciate
please
it.
do, and then tell the folks goodbye.
All right. Yeah, Spooktacular. Hopefully coming to a theater near you or a television service. Texted with David today. Hopefully
Nice.
we're going to be finalizing that, but we'll see. Looks like we're going to have a presence at Silver Scream Con, which is nice.
Oh, you're doing the con gimmick.
Yeah, we're doing the table gimmick. Combine the table gimmick. We'll give you gimmicks. So there you go.
Gimmick table.
But I'm actually flying out to LA in 10 days to start the first 3 episodes that I've been working on of the Horror Nerd podcast with my friend Samantha Hale.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, and I'll actually send you the screener for her improv special that they're selling right now to the network, so you can take a look at that. With Bonnie Marie Williams, voiceover superhero. She's done movie and TV work. She's going to be in the show with us too, and hoping to have a presence on that regard at Silver Scream 2. I'm waiting to hear about that. But outside of that, just really appreciate the time, and thanks for getting me back into the foundations of what pushed me into addressing the creative side, which was sitting back and enjoying a movie and having thought-provoking conversation. Thank you, guys.
Of course, man. It's always a pleasure to hang out, and it's too few and too far between. But we'll definitely see if we can do it again sometime soon, because it's always a blast. It's funny, we chat pretty much every day now, and it's sometimes like I think you would mention we can do a movie or something. I'm like, we got to get you on. Why have we it's been like months. Why haven't we done this again? And then it's just because we talk all the time. So but let's make it happen.
The messenger gimmick. We're just
the messenger gimmick. Well, we'll make it happen again soon. But it's always a pleasure to have you on, buddy. So
thank you, guys.
All right, Raven Shadow. Say your thing. Say goodbye to Anthony. Do what you got to do.
I fucking don't want to. But
all right. Well, say fare thee well.
Don't fucking put words in my mouth.
Do that goodbye gimmick.
I gotta do the catchphrase gimmick. But no, and it totally sucks that it took fucking Vince McMahon to really be a huge piece of shit to restart this. But
bring us together.
I love checking in with the goddamn pal gimmick on the messenger week after week. And when you do travel to LA, if you ever need someone to do the Virgil gimmick, I will ride shotgun with you. Call back.
I'll have to get a bigger vehicle for what you're packing.
Virgil gimmick.
It's all angle and leverage, but no, buddy, I love you, man. You are just the sweetest human being. You have so many amazing projects, like you folks listening right now. Actually, nobody's listening, but if you were still listening, all the gimmicks this guy has coming out is gonna fucking rock your world. So for this time and for next time, live fast, love hard. I love you, Anthony.
Love you too, brother.
All right. Well, that is going to do it. So we appreciate our pal Anthony coming on. Love you, brother. And definitely do it again soon. And Raven Shadow, I guess, you're pretty cool too. I like... No, I'm just kidding.
I am kind of fucking cool. That's fucked up, man.
What?
And like,
hey, who of the 2 people left on the show, who have I been friends with for almost 30 years?
your boy.
That's right. Your boy.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. All right.
I like our friend gimmick.
Yeah, our friend gimmick. All right, well, that is going to do it. So we appreciate you guys hanging out, tuning in, and probably tuning out as well. But
No, no one's done. We've lost so many Patreon subscribers already.
Yeah, so next week, what are we doing again? Oh, yeah, we're doing Humane from Caitlin Cronenberg. So if you guys want to play along at home, feel free to check it out on VOD.
I feel like fucking Yoda. There's another?
There is another. Yeah. So there you go. We're going to do Humane next week. So come back, tune in, and let us know what you think. Send us a voice message, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. That's it. Go home. You're not welcome here anymore. No, you are, always. All right. See you, dudes. Bye.